Okay, this is NewHampshireTrackandField.com, powered by Runners Alley, coming to you from the 2022 Wilderness League Championships. Today's meet hub sponsored by our good friends at Tim's Truck Capital. We are just at the start of the meet. It's 9 o'clock. They moved the meet up because of the potential heat that's going to be coming later on today, and we're starting with the 4x8s. Wilderness League is one of the oldest meets in the state, and one of the best meets in the state, actually. The aim is to have a regional championship, giving athletes a chance at qualifying or bettering their performances for state championships. These are still great team competition. Each member school takes part in running an event. But the heat for today is a story. But the funny part about that is it's nice and cool. I'm actually a little bit chilled. You see jackets on officials. You see kids with long sleeves on right now. It's overcast. There was a little bit of mist this morning, and the heat hasn't hit yet. The goal is to get this done before the heat hits, obviously. They're usually pretty good about that with the meet lasting about 3 hours, 40 minutes or so. And that's kind of what they're all about. So right now, going through the 400, first leg is Guilford, followed by Kennett. We expect this to be one of the better competitions. And then you have Messinic, Newfound, Prospect Mountain, and Muskoma. And that's the field right now. We have 6 teams right now. And the field events, we'll have raw recordings of the field events. We'll be posting those later on today. We're looking at high jump and discus, pole vault, and shot put. It's just a great day for track and field to begin with, and probably by the finals, the temperature's going to rise a little bit, and we'll have a great day. So right now, again, Guilford and Kennett are rolling. I will have a broadcast partner with me here in a minute or so. And again, this is Guilford and Kennett, 1-2. It's interesting to see how teams approach today. Sometimes they approach it to go for the win as a team. Sometimes they're doing dry runs for state championships, which occur next Saturday for D3. We have Guilford coming through first leg at 2:41. Kennett first leg at 2:43. Newfound's first leg hands off in third, 2:53 and change. Messinic 2:55, followed by Prospect Mountain at 2:56. And Muskoma's going to be handing off in sixth place at 3:05 and change. Wilderness League is run by a committee. Scott Clark, Christy Heichel, John Gogol, Joe Warnig. We are, like I said, we are at Guilford High School, who has run every kind of meet imaginable, from dual meets to state championships, and Wilderness League is one of their favorite ones to do. Shout out to Joe Warnig, who had to take off at 9 to go catch his kid's graduation at UNH. Second time he's done that. But he was here bright and early, making sure this got off without a hitch, and we started right on time. So Guilford has taken a little bit more of a lead. They opened it up in the first lap of the second leg over Kennett. Guilford was favored coming into this. Kennett coming through. Battle is for third, really, with Newfound now and Messinic and Prospect Mountain. Once again, this is Runners Alley. NewHampshireTrackandField.com, powered by Runners Alley. Today's Meet Hub brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital. Muskoma. So Guilford will be handing off midway through this relay. pretty impressive through midway. They're at 10:50 pace. As we go along today, we'll have updates on where this is at Battle Notes. Handing off in third is Prospect Mountain, a great little kick there. And Messinic will be in fourth. That's Victoria Smith. And then Newfound, fifth. Like I said, the race is for third at this point in time. In D3, the top time for 4x8 girls so far this season is Newmarket at 10:01. Guilford's trying to improve upon their 11:24 midway through. They're looking on pace for a sub-11. Messinic at 11:44 best time so far. Newfound 11:45 and Prospect Mountain 11:48. They're all on pace to run their best time so far. This could be positioning for the D3 meet next week. Girls 4x8, Kennett's trying to improve upon their 11:14. They're on pace to do that as well. Coming into our anchor legs. Guilford with 200 meters to go for the third leg. They've opened up a huge lead on Kennett, about 100 meters. And it's another 100 meters back to Prospect Mountain. But I'm telling you, Messinic and Newfound, they're going to battle here and maybe close the gap a little bit on Prospect Mountain on this final lap. Here comes Guilford. We'll give you kind of an update on their progress. And I would say they're on pace for about in the 10:40s right now. Great shot there. So a 2:40 leg would give them a 10:50. If she could do better than 2:40, looks like she's off on a good start. If she does better than 2:40, that'll be pretty legit. Kennett handed off at 8:28, 8:30. So to improve upon theirs, they need a 2:40 bring them up to 11:10. Should be good for them. And for their positioning in D2. Right now there's only 8 teams in D2 that have recorded a 4x8, so I'm expecting that to be a little bit more. 9 teams make it in to state championships. In D3, there's 11. 9 teams make it in. Kearsarge and Muskoma are trying to crack the 11:48 Prospect Mountain as posted. So with 1 lap to go at 9:23, they're going to have a big PR here. It's going to be low 10:40s, if not high 10:30s. And that would launch them into third behind Newmarket and Hopkinton on the battle notes. Reminder to D3 coaches, reminder to all coaches, state championship division, state championship entries are due tomorrow by noon. Kennett is coming through 9:45. They're going to need, if they get an 80 last 400, that'll be an 11:05. And that'll improve their positioning to that'll keep them around, that would keep them at 5th, but still pretty comfortable to make the state championships. So Guilford with 100 meters to go is at 10:23. They're looking at a big PR here, season PR. They should pass Conant for third. 10:40, 10:41, 10:42. Your 2022 Wilderness League Championship champions, Guilford High School, on their home track. Great way to start the first event of the 2022 Wilderness League Championships. First one in 3 years. Second, Muskoma still has a lap to go. Kennett is coming in for second. And it's going to be really close to their best time of the season. Actually, really close. 11:14, 11:15, 11:16. So not quite their best, but a good way to tune up. Good way to tune up for next week. In Newfound, 11:55. I think we got Davio joining us.
Hello.
Davio, how goes it?
It's a little cooler than I expected.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be like 92.
Yeah.
But
good for 4x8s.
Yeah. Got all the field events set up, Davio? Recording, ready to roll?
Yeah. Should have some good field. We got nice view of pole vault, shot put, and triple jump going on right now.
All right.
Directly behind us.
All right. Muskoma finishing at 12:46. Next race is going to be the boys 4x8. They got a full field with 9 teams. Yeah, it's overcast. You can usually see the Belknap Mountains from here, but we can't see the Belknap Mountains yet.
Yeah, we got a lot of fog.
So.
Looks kind of cool up there.
I think they're calling my name, Davio, after this race, this meet, I mean.
They told me to ask you. I'll just keep asking until I find out an
Next event on the track will be our boys 4x800.
I'm surprised they're taking this long. Scott Clark usually fires them right out there.
First race of the day. Timer's probably making sure they got everything squared away.
Ease into it.
Yeah. I mean, we did start 45 minutes early, so a little bit of a buffer. Looks like that warmer weather has kind of slowly pushed back. We do expect it to definitely get warmer as the day progresses once this fog burns off, that we can kind of see in the distance here.
I'm looking at the forecast, and I think Beano organizers did the right thing by moving the running events up to 9 because
Absolutely.
it's only supposed to get to 74 by 1 p.m.
Yeah, I think this is going to work out pretty well.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
And the clouds are supposed to stay with us till 2, but knowing the way they run this meet, it's we should be out of here before 1 o'clock. Okay, here we go. So in this heat, we got Scenic Regional, Kingswood, Guilford, Newfound in this race. Prospect Mountain, Winnisquam, Belmont, Muskoma, Bishop Brady. And if the orders of the sheets we have are correct, we got Cacchetti from Messinic, Lang from Kingswood, Forrest from Guilford, Downs from Newfound, one of the Downs brothers, Howlett from Prospect Mountain, Swain from Winnisquam, Boyd from Belmont, Buffington leading off from Muskoma, and Bedell leading off from Bishop Brady. Leading time for this in D3 is Messinic at 8:53, Conant 9:10, Guilford 9:23, Newfound 9:29, Prospect Mountain 9:31, Hopkinton 9:40, Kearsarge 9:49. And they're off. Fair start. It's not too crowded. This is this will be the same number of teams at the division championships next week.
It's like Kennett right out in front, and then Guilford and Newfound, I think, in third.
Clock you're seeing on your screen is unofficial. It is not linked to the gun. At some meets we do have that capability, not today. So I think that one is probably off by about a half second to a second. I might have been a little bit slow pushing the button.
Not too much of a difference in the 4x8, maybe a little bit more in the 100, say.
Yeah, 100's a good chance I won't turn it on.
This is 4x8.
This is 4x8.
They didn't used to do that. I used to coach track at Guilford 20 years ago. They didn't have a 4x8.
No real separation yet.
Coming through in respectable 63, 64, 65, judging by the official clock across the way. Guilford making a move.
Guilford making a move.
It's Guilford passing to Scenic
That's
there.
Forrest passing Cacchetti.
Oh, that was a big move. He's still going. I don't think he liked that 65.
Biding his time. You know, my feet are wet and they're kind of cold. I didn't think I would be dealing with that today.
As I was putting stuff on the ground, I'm like, it's getting wet, but should dry out by the end of the day. Humidity might not help with that, though.
Yeah.
No. I didn't even bring an extra pair of socks today. I brought some slides, but it's too cold for those too.
Now that you mention it, I realize my feet are wet. Thank you for pointing it out.
Yep, just thought I'd let you know.
All right. Coming into the final straightaway for the first leg. Decent looking time on the clock, 2 minutes now.
Pretty good split.
Again, this is Guilford leading it.
2:10, that's 8:40 pace. Followed by Prospect Mountain. So leading for Guilford is Bondaz and Prospect Mountain. It looks like it is Smith. We only have last names listed on our sheet, so forgive us. Messinic is third. That is O'Shea. Followed by Newfound's LaPlume. And that looks like Kingswood. And that should be Charis from Kingswood.
Boys, 110 hurdles to be checking in. Boys, 110 hurdles. Please check in.
Guilford still in the lead, but that lead appears to be shrinking some. Guilford, Prospect Mountain.
A 70 in the split.
Messinic, Newfound, Kingswood. Mostly D3 teams here today.
So coming in on our third legs. Give you an idea here in a minute what pace they're on. I'll kind of give you an idea where they are with battle notes.
Close battle. Prospect Mountain, Guilford. See who gets the stick first, who gets the inside track. Looks like Prospect Mountain right out in front. Smartly getting over just enough, although Guilford looks to respond, moves outside on their corner, on their shoulder. They might look to pass soon.
They're on like 9:05 pace.
Decent pace.
Yeah, Guilford's going for it on the straight.
Guilford is making that move. We'll catch up that action just as soon as these handoffs are done.
That's
Switch
Haddix,
back over.
Haddix from Guilford and Capsalis from Prospect Mountain. You got Messinic and Newfound. That's Samaro from Messinic and Newfound's Brother Downs.
And now we can see Guilford out in front of Prospect Mountain. Although coming on to them, number 1 in D3 is Messinic, making the pass on Prospect Mountain and closing that distance on Guilford. They look like they're going to try and make the pass on this straight. Tucked in on the shoulder now. And moving around, we can see Messinic taking the lead. 400 more on this leg.
Guilford battling back.
Yeah, they're not going away.
Messinic, though, made a pretty good gap because they were 20, 30 meters behind.
Newfound coming up on Prospect Mountain for third. So the third and fourth place teams are making a move.
It's cool to see in 4x8s like how much movement there is.
Guilford looking to pass.
Battling back, trying to pass
There
on the
we
straight.
go. Pass is about getting that turn first. Tucking in, still outside for Guilford.
That's Haddix passing Samaro.
And they got in plenty of space. So definitely a little bit of back and forth here between these two, Guilford and Messinic.
That's a great move on the straightaway, though. Get them right before the turn, and then they have to go outside if they want to pass you again.
And I mean, ultimately here on this final stretch, they're giving it everything they got. They don't need to pace at this point. So being in the number 1 spot right here is a benefit. Smart move but there by Guilford. Messinic, though, going wide, trying to get even.
And
out in front now.
Guilford will be handing off to Townsend. If they run 2:10, they'll be right around 9 minutes.
So Messinic takes that handoff first, gets the corner first, and is in the lead. Guilford right behind.
That's Traffy for Messinic, Townsend for Guilford. This should be a pretty good battle here. But don't look now. Downs from Newfound is in third very comfortably. I would expect him to keep that, and if anything comes back from first or second, he might capitalize on that. Solid runner. It's Kingswood a D2 handing off now.
Up front, no change. Still Messinic and Guilford, shoulder to shoulder.
Here we go, David.
It looks like Guilford's just going along for the ride here.
Go, 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 David.
Makes sense. You don't really have to do anything crazy on the first lap. Just see how it plays out, and then if you got anything left, go for it with 300, 200 to go.
These guys look like they're going to have some lap traffic that's doing a handoff, so something else to avoid. But with fresh legs, might be just something to chase.
Well, they pop a 65. They could break 9.
That lap,
Traffy putting a little gap on him.
yeah, that traffic might be able to help.
Guilford's going to do a tremendous improvement here. They're at 9:23 in battle notes, and Newfound not too far behind at 9:29. They're going to both improve their lot. Messinic opening it up. Traffy opening it up. He's got about a 15-meter lead now on the far turn.
Keep going, David. Push strong.
Now coming off that turn, let's see if there's a movement from Guilford's Townsend. Looks like Messinic's going to be your champions. Run 9 and some change.
Prospect Mountain making a surge.
Well, Prospect Mountain might snipe. Prospect Mountain had a great last. But there you go, Messina, your champions at 9:02. Guilford coming through at 9:08. Prospect Mountain 9:09. Downs from Newfound finishing in 9:13, 9:14. That'll shake up the battle notes for D3 heading into next week for sure.
Tim Cox stepping away, take his first break of the day.
Come on, David! Push, David! Push! Go, David!
Not coming back.
Yeah, David!
Yeah, he's a little chilly.
Of our national anthem. So off to the north end, out by where our long jump pit is.
Gonna take a quick pause in the track action for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, with so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
All right.
What a great job.
That was well done. I always like it when there's someone live singing it. Next event on the track will be our boys 100-meter trials. We've got 5 heats of that. If we take a look down at the start line of the 100, we will be able to see some guys.
Nice to have an 8-lane track for this.
I feel like we've seen a lot of 8-lane tracks this year.
Yeah. This is an 8-lane straightaway, actually. 6-lane full track, but
I'll take it.
yeah, it's good for the sprints. You get 8 people off at a time.
In this first heat of 5, we've got Nelson of Prospect Mountain, Parker Prospect Mountain, Austin, Plymouth Regional, Elliott, Kingswood, Nicholas, Bishop Brady, Drayden of Laconia, Caden of Guilford, and Adam of Guilford. And something tells me I need to hand this off. Trying to do too many things here, too many buttons.
Is that my job now?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, we got a stack of.
We're good. We got info today.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Got a lot of paperwork here.
And they're off, our first heat of boys. Take a quick look at that replay. And that would be Elliott of Kingswood taking it, as we can clearly see there. A few close finishes. Heat 2 in their blocks now, about to take off. Brendan Belmont, Victor Winnisquam, Jaden, Portsmouth Christian, Gavin Moultonborough, David Berlin, Hunter Kearsarge, Dimitri Belmont, and Damian of Kingswood.
Nice run, Brent.
Another close one. I've had my supporting cast cut away real quick, so we won't be able to give you all the names as they finish. Heat 3 in the blocks. Jaron Woodsville, Nick Bishop Brady, Matt Laconia, Curtis Plymouth Regional, Logan Muskoma Valley, Nate Bishop Brady, Landon Plymouth, and Quentin from Kearsarge in that third heat. Get to see a little replay of it as we get ready for Heat 4. Looking pretty good. Heat 4 now on the track. In their blocks. Looks like they're just getting ready. So Heat 4, we have Asher Franklin, Allen Bishop Brady, Casey Kingswood, Damian Belmont, Perrin of Prospect Mountain, Gabriel Plymouth Regional, Ariel Bishop Brady, and Tyler of Kennett. Guys backing into their blocks. Looks like lane 7 is empty. Again, that is hand time as we see these guys coming to the line. And a replay of their race before we make it into our 5th and final heat of the boys. A lot of really competitive heats in this one. Wow, look at that. Just enough separation to sort it all out, of course.
I just want to try to, I might run them. He's not doing the 4x100. But is the 300 going to be at the end?
5th and final heat. Zach Kearsarge, Jack Bishop Brady, Colby Belmont, Tim Portsmouth Christian, Joshua Bishop Brady, Tristan Laconia, Albert Laconia, and Isaiah of Guilford taking their blocks now. First command's been given. See them bouncing around, getting into their blocks. Another close one. A little bit of a fall there. And we'll check out the replay of that race as the girls get ready for their first of 5 heats.
Because she wanted me to give them to, she wants them for the finish.
Wait a minute, who's are they?
Jenny.
Oh, Jenny. Okay. I'll throw them at her when she does.
Start seeing a little bit of that stumble there, a little extra lean.
Yeah, a little small.
All right, next event on the track is the girls' 100-meter dash. These are prelims. Like I said, we've got 5 different heats. In this first heat of 5, we have Sophia of Plymouth Regional in lane 2. Lane 3 is Lily of Winnisquam. Lane 3 is Lily of Winnisquam. Lane 4, Donnelise of Prospect Mountain. 5 is Olivia of Interlakes. And 6, Rylena of Newfound. A lot of close races in the boys. My guess right now, getting a slight pause as we're comparing heat to heat. Some of those athletes making sure the fastest get into finals, however their advancement procedure is. I'm not quite sure if it was winners and then next 3 with 5 heats. Good chance that's what it was. While we wait, take one more look at that last race, just right at the end there. Can see oftentimes in these prelims, lanes 4 and 5 will be the fastest. That's how the seating is done, where you put your fastest athletes. It will go 4, 5, 3, 6, 2, 7, 1, 8. Not always the case. A lot of D3 schools sometimes. Some of these entries will be based on hand time versus FAT, fully automatic timing, which is what we have here today. White flag from the timing side of things. All right, first heat of girls getting into their blocks now. Get a nice replay of that heat while we wait on heat 2.
When you see Leah, let me know.
All right, heat 2 taking their blocks now. Sydney of Guilford, Isabella of Newfound, Heron of Plymouth Regional, Abby Guilford, Michaela Newfound, and Shay of Guilford as well. 5 of them coming at us now. And we'll take another replay of the race while we have a moment in between.
Replays. Replays? Are you talking about replays? Like real
Talking about
replays?
replays, man. This is what just happened.
Like ESPN? What's up?
Now, welcome back, Tim Cox. So I don't have to do everything myself, which is appreciated when I'm trying to do a little extra.
Well, the funny thing about that is we do nothing because Greg has this huge board here, and I have no idea. If I press
now-
a button, it'll screw
Now
it
all you
up.
have to do is just tell me who
All right,
won
lane
each
1,
heat.
we got Alexis Tuttle from Kennett. Lane 2, Mia Ray from Belmont. Lane 3, Chloe Kane from Prospect Mountain. Lane 4, Donovan Lavaletti from Kingswood. Lane 5, Haley Greenwood from Laconia. Lane 6, Alexis Poole from Winnisquam. Lane 7, Sophia Sweet from Plymouth. Lane 8, Adeline Salmons from Portsmouth Christian. And that'll be from Plymouth, Sophie Sweet with the win in this trials. Do you know what makes it back, Greg?
I do not. I was speculating it would be a winner of each and then next 3, but hard to say. A little replay of the last one.
This meat is flying.
Yeah, once you get going with it, you can get into a good groove.
And as they settle into the blocks, the next heat will have lane 1 from Newfound, Molly Lou McKellar. Lane 2 from Laconia, Aaliyah Patton. Lane 3 from Laconia, Madeline Mousseau. Lane 4 from Kennett, Bryn Fail. Lane 5 from Interlakes, Alyssa McCarthy. Lane 6 from Prospect Mountain, Sylvia Cummings. Lane 7 from Guilford, Addie Wernig, Joe Wernig's daughter. Lane 8 from Franklin, Hannah Croto. Fair start. Leading midway is lane 3 from Laconia, Madeline Mousseau, but that's going to be Kennett's Bryn Fail. Failey? I would think it's Failey. What do you think, Greg?
I'll trust your judgment on it.
Failey. I hope it's Failey. Got a replay going on that one?
Replay going on that one.
What are we showing? Are we showing the whole thing? Are you
So
showing
we're-
the finish? What are you showing?
100s, we got enough time to show the whole thing, and then I like to slow it down near the finish so we can get a nice glimpse going across the line there.
Oh, that's a great shot.
And it's really, I mean, doing this last night and then again today, it's seeing who leans, when they lean. A lot of people not leaning at the right time for those who are leaning.
In this next heat, lane 1, it from Muscoma Valley, Jenny Lutz. Lane 2 from Newfound, Ellie McDonald. Lane 3 from Belmont, Tally Watson. Lane 4 from Belmont, Emma Winslow. Lane 5 from Kennett, Ada Wheat. She's probably the favorite today, along with Lauren McPhee from Kingsville. This is going to be a good one, Greg. They got 2 of the top seeds in the same heat. Wow. Kearsarge, Kate Cochran. Lane 7 and lane 8 is Kingswood, Kylie Raposa. This is going to be a good one. Wonder how hard they're going to run this if they see they're going to make it through.
All right, first command's been given. Girls bounce around, getting into their blocks now.
I think they're probably just doing this by time.
Think it's all done time.
I think so.
Not any places.
It's just a weird number of
It is a
heats.
weird with heats.
Yeah. It's a fair start. And that was Weed had a great start. And it will be Wheat, followed by Belmont's Talia Watson. We'll see on the replay.
Oh, got plenty of time for this one. We got some
Yep.
hurdles coming on the track.
Hurdles coming on the track, yep.
Again, that clock unofficial. Does help to give us a little bit of judgment as to where they
Tell
are.
us what you see in the replay, Greg.
Well, we clearly got lane 5 winning that. No lean involved. Lane 4, a little early on the lean, but still pretty good. I'll take that. One of the better ones I've seen. Then 6. Real close, 8/2. 7-1-3. Again, we're looking at torso. Yeah, pretty good, though.
Yeah, that was a good race. Can't wait to see the final. So looking at the order of events now, obviously we got the hurdles getting set up. So we're going to have the high hurdles for the boys first, trials, and then the 100. Matter of fact, Mr. Craig, we got a winner of the 6-seeded heats plus the next 2 fastest time on final. Advance to the final.
You said winner of each heat?
Yep.
Well,
The
we only had
6-seeded
5,
heats,
so
that's the thing. So I bet you it's the winner of each heat period, and they're filling the field.
Yep. Which is what I had suspected.
There you go. You're the man, because that's why you're the sprint expert.
I don't know about that.
School record holder, Cole Brown, 200. If you see him walk around, you would never think it. Once you start seeing him run,
What are you trying to say about my walk?
you walk around. It's it's like a grown adult male, just sauntering.
It's
walk very
been a
slowly.
while since I've actually done a race, so.
We got McKenna Lee on photography today, aspiring photographer. Also a 10-7 vaulter.
Yeah, she got 10-7 last night, right?
Yeah. That was a great pole vault competition.
Beat her own school record.
Beat her own school record, yeah. She had a couple great attempts at 11-1. I think that's going to be the next sort of barrier that'll go probably next week.
We've got Lars on camera today, who's going to go ahead and zoom in towards the start line. That way I don't have to look at myself anymore.
Can he hear you?
Yeah, he heard me.
Stop looking at us, Lars. Is that looking at us right now?
Yeah, now we're good.
He timed you. I think your time went pretty good. I think you got
Today's opening heights for high jumps, 4'1" girls, 4'11" boys.
So
First
same,
2 inches.
similar to what we saw yesterday, like I had talked about in last night's meet. All these meets kind of at the end like to do those odd numbers, break up some of those ties in battle notes.
Yep. We have to give credit to Seacoast Championships. They're the one that started that way back when. I remember that pretty clearly. And I liked it from the start. 'Cause
Yeah.
It breaks a lot of ties, and that's just hard. I mean, the rule is going into the seating meetings, which D3 is tomorrow, D1 is Monday night, and D2 is Tuesday night. The seating meetings is where coaches go and they scratch. I think we got our first race ready to go. And they fill the field based upon scratches. But when you have ties, if we can't figure it out, then we have to throw them all out as far as the high jump and the pole vault. So it's good to have tiebreakers. So in this first heat of 2, so 2 heats, and then the next fastest. So there's going to be 11, so only 3 won't make it back to the final. Lane 2 is from Kenneth Sebastian Brochu. Lane 3 from Guilford is Nicholas Haddix. I think we saw him in the 4x8. Lane 4 from Kingswood, Cameron Keene. Lane 5 from Guilford, Caden Krupnick. And lane 6 from Kingswood, Michael Wainwright. So back to the seating meetings, it's actually a really cool game of chess that isn't broadcast or anything. It's private. And then the accepted entries are posted later on that evening. Coaches are reminded they have until noontime tomorrow to get their final entries in. That's why these meets today count big time, obviously. And they go through every single event, and you say whether an athlete's in or out. They start at whatever the maximum number of athletes are going to take, and they work their way up. And then based upon how many scratch they take from 17 or 18 on down.
Set.
It's a good start.
First sheet of the boys' hurdles is off.
We have everybody that's forecast to be here. And leading right now is Kingswood's Cameron Keene. We have Davio not quite back yet, I guess. Yeah, he's eating pizza. I think that pizza's from last night.
Did you say he's eating pizza?
Yeah, look at him. Pepperoni. And that's going to be Kingswood's Cameron Keene with the win, followed by Guilford's Nicholas Haddix. Cameron is guaranteed a spot in the final. I would think with the way they have it set up, Nicholas will safely be in as well. Probably top 3 or 4 will be in on that, actually. Okay, in the next heat, heat number 2, we have 6 competitors. Kearsarge, lane 2, Evan Menard. Lane 3 from Guilford, Aiden Malik. Lane 4 from Plymouth Regional, Cole Ahern. Lane 5 from White Mountains, Elijah Ballou. Lane 6 from Belmont, Mitchell Berry. And lane 7 from Kingswood, Quinn Bowens. Sorry if I'm butchering the names. I do have my glasses on, so I do not have an excuse.
If it makes you feel better, I think every commentator who's had to say names this year has apologized. It's not easy.
No, it's not. It's a lot of French
You know,
names. A lot of French names. I want to do it with an accent, but I want to be offensive, like Elijah Bayou.
All the pro sports, they come with pronunciations.
Heat sheets, not so much.
Yeah, they get a little extra help with that. All right, heat 2 backing into their blocks. Set. Heat 2 underway.
That's Plymouth's Cole Ahern with the lead. He's going to safely make it through as long as there's no mishaps. And then that'll be White Mountains, Elijah Bayou in second. Those two are very safe. I think Guilford and Kearsarge will also be in, but we'll see when we get to the finals. Got a replay going?
This is still live, however. We'll cut over to our replay.
Come on now.
There we go. Just wanted to get to the right spot. Again, those times unofficial, but does give a little bit of judgment how far apart some of these athletes actually are. Okay, we can see and hear a little bit of that hurdle moving up, or down, I should say.
And moved.
And moved. Yeah, they moved up on the track. I'll go with that. Davio over there laughing, eating pizza. He's on his second break, so we'll keep track. I'll take one.
When I go on a break, it's mostly to get Greg food. So
you've never gotten me food.
It's just hard because
I bring my own food. It's right over there.
It's just hard because he's very, very particular with what he eats.
This is only my first break. What are you talking
there
about?
we go. This is your first break?
Yeah. When was my other break?
I figured because you were late today, that was your first break.
I didn't think he was late.
I wasn't late.
He definitely wasn't Davio late. Davio late's usually a little bit later.
No, he was good. He was good.
He was Davio on time.
I was on time, but then I had to repark because I got kicked out.
I was happy when I saw you come.
That's when you say we were at the website.
Huh?
That's when you say you were with the website.
Yeah. I didn't have a badge or anything. You need like a
Badge?
You
Do you want press
credentials.
pass?
Yeah.
I think they know Davio.
Davi, you want to get trained?
No, I'm good.
You sure? All right. I'll take my first break after all of our sprints are over, once we get a distance event.
I don't know anything about distance. I might need you to stay. Like clockwork. What time are we at right now? 9:55. So by doing the 4x8s early, you know, we're flying. Because we were supposed to start the running events at 9:45.
Pretty good.
But totally support the decision of the
Oh, 100%.
management. I mean, if it's, and they are lucking out again. They're lucking out again because obviously the heat's not coming on until later. It's going to stay overcast all the way till 1 o'clock according to the forecast, and it's not even supposed to crack 70 till noontime. So,
Yeah.
super great decision.
First command given for
Okay.
our first girls heat of 2.
Lane 2, Muskoma Valley, Elena Trempe. Lane 3 from Plymouth, Annalie Flynn. Lane 4 from Belmont, Adeline Takanjas. Lane 5 from Portsmouth Christian, Sierra Lignos. Lane 6, Interlakes, Lily Richardson. Lane 7, Prospect Mountain, Jillian Simpson.
I appreciate that you're still doing first and last names.
Hey, they have full names, you know.
I understand that.
Yeah, it was a
And
good
that's-
effort.
Is that Belmont in the lead? Belmont, Adeline. I'm not going to try to butcher the last name again. And Portsmouth Christian, that's Lignos second. Again, the winner of each heat make it back in the next fastest times to fill the lanes. Nice looking hurdler there. Nice and smooth. Replay.
This is it, man.
She must be coached by someone who knows what he's doing at Belmont. So it definitely can't be Scott Clark. Oh, wait. Doesn't he coach there now? Oops. All right. Next heat, as they settle in the blocks and you enjoy this replay. Love that side view, Coach Hall. Love that. Lane 2 is going to be Berlin's Gwen Pelchat. Lane 3 from Kearsarge is going to be Bristol Messer. Lane 4, Plymouth Regional's Catherine Lures. She's probably the favorite today. Lane 5 from Newfound Regional, Molly Lou McKellar. Lane 6 from Franklin, Hannah Croto. Lane 7 from Winnisquam, Victoria Kelly. Yeah, Lures has had a nice season. Tenacious competitor.
I can feel some of this heat come through over here.
You do? Because I don't feel any heat.
Yeah, you're into the tent.
And I got wet socks.
I don't know. I can feel it.
And as predicted, Allures is in the lead. This would be a nice cruising victory for her. So she'll advance to the finals. I would suspect on that one, that was a little bit faster. On that one would be top 3 or 4. Make it back, and that concludes the women's, all the hurdle trials. Next up, we're going to have the finals of the hurdles and the dash, and then the 1600.
Working on getting those final sheets. All right. Still got a bit of fog going on, so if you're starting to feel the heat now, we might be in some trouble once that burns off.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's going to get so hot today. As soon as the sun comes out, it's going straight up. But this really worked out perfectly, though.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I think we'll be okay. I mean, the heat, I was watching it all week, and it was slowly creeping backwards, and I think now we'll be able to get everything in before the significant stuff where you can start worrying about athletes will kick in. That's the hope.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting weather. Like, it's only going to be hot for a couple hours at, like, 3, 4 o'clock, and then, evening and cools off again. But it's, like, kind of odd.
Well, we have a moment. Once again, this is NewHampshireTrackandField.com, powered by Runners Alley. Our meet hub today brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital. You can find them in Epsom, New Hampshire, right by the Epsom Circle. They got a couple different locations within a mile of each other, right around there. We are at the Wilderness Championship, Guilford, New Hampshire. So far, decent weather day. This is the last meet all these athletes will be at before states. Most schools here are Division III. Division III seeding meeting happens tomorrow.
Yeah, this meet's a pretty good preview of Division III states.
Doesn't have everyone, but it's got a good chunk of them.
Yeah, I think it's, as good as you're going to see before states in terms of full competition level.
I tell you, it's a pretty interesting event too. Just how they have it organized and who runs it. Obviously you have your host school, but you've got coaches from all different schools coming early to help out here. It's kind of a community help with that, and it's been great to see. Obviously, this meet has traveled before. We've seen it at different sites, so they'll kind of switch off the hosting school duties sometimes, and it's been good to see. Now, I've been absent at the last couple of Wilderness that happened back in 19 and 18, I think. I missed those. Were those here? You were here, right?
They were not here. They were at Belmont, I believe, if I remember correctly. Trying to think. I believe it was Belmont. But yeah, I mean, it's always a good meet. And it's, like we said, it's a good preview of Division III states because, primarily D3 schools here. And it's interesting you said that, there's a lot of coaches helping out from different schools, but also even the event volunteers are required to be provided by each school, which is kind of cool. So you have... Each school is assigned an event, and they have to provide volunteers to run that event. And that way it gets, everyone who's coming to the meet is involved in running it. And so they all kind of have a hand in putting the meet on, which is pretty cool. Because normally, it's just whoever the host school is kind of handles all those duties.
Definitely cool how it becomes a community-type championship meet. So, high-quality meet, place changes, a lot of fun things about this one.
Yeah, and then that way it's also not, all on the host school, so it really doesn't matter where it is because everyone's helping out no matter what.
Little technical difficulties with the timing. Just being patient with that. But just like track and field, it's like a 9-ring circus. Shot puts, kicking, triple jump, long jump. We'll have raw footage from shot put, pole vault. What else? We got shot put, pole vault. What else we got, Davio? What else do we set up, Davio? Shot put, pole vault.
We might have high jump going on.
Greg Hall taking his first break. By the way he's running, I think it's a bathroom break.
Maybe he's got some work to do.
Maybe I think things are going well.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for the sheets for the high hurdles and the 100. Not a big deal. They're way ahead of schedule with starting the 4x8 early, 45 minutes early. The heat doesn't seem to be an issue today. Won't be an issue today, surprisingly so.
Yeah, it's always nice. Like some of these late season meets, you get just so hot, and obviously it's when you're kind of trying to run your best performances.
Next week.
Well, hopefully, yeah, your best performances are next week. But
What's the forecast for next week? How's that look?
I actually haven't looked at it yet. I think it's supposed to be nice though.
All right.
I'm
gonna go check on the heat sheets. Looks like they're gonna
maybe?
get them ready. Davio's gonna do a single
I'm going
stand
solo
up,
here.
or we'll just check back in when they got him in the block.
Actually, let's check on that forecast for next week.
My legs felt great compared to yesterday and that last time.
But yeah, typically, a lot of times this late in the season you get some hot days, and it's not ideal for your best performances, which is obviously too bad because this time of the year is when you're trying to have your best performances. Although the heat is pretty helpful for a lot of events. Obviously the sprints, jumps, throws, heat can be pretty good. Helps you warm up, get your fast twitch muscles going. So obviously the heat helps in those events. But some of these sprinters are relieved to actually have some warm days, because early on in the season, you're trying to get warmed up for the 100, and it's about 40 degrees out. It doesn't work too 100, and it's about 40 degrees out. It doesn't work too well. So, but this is a nice day, like right in the middle. Not too hot, not too cold. Pretty good for everybody. Got some nice middle ground here. All right, so looking at the forecast for next weekend, looks like we have some scattered thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 72. And then pretty clear on Saturday with a high of 70. So pretty ideal, actually. '70 is a nice middle ground between ideal weather for sprinting and distance running, or sprinting and field events, actually, and distance running. Greg, where's divisionals this year?
D1 on Friday is at Salem, and then D2 and D3 will be at Pelham on Saturday.
All right.
So a little double feature action.
I don't think I've ever been to Salem's track.
I have not.
I don't seem to remember ever going there. I mean, I definitely didn't run there, but maybe covering a meet.
I think I've looked at it before. It's 8 lanes, wide turns, kind of like what we saw at Sanborn. Sanborn will be where we have Meet of Champions again, as far as I know.
Let's see, in Salem, yeah, it looks like Saturday is, or actually, no, that would be Friday at Salem. Cloudy, with a high of 74. A little bit of wind, but pretty good. Can't ask for much more.
Have you been keeping an eye on our field events at all?
I haven't
Seeing
looked over recently.
I think that's one of the things you're doing today, if I recall correctly.
I am.
Aren't you? You're doing all the field events?
Yeah. It's my job.
Kind of our own little decathlon type situation.
Oh, yes.
No, you're recording them, aren't you?
Yes, that is true.
All right.
Yeah, we've had pole vault going on since 9 right behind us. They're getting up. Yeah, it looks like I can't see the. Do they have a sign up? Actually, I don't think they have a sign up. But looks like they're getting up there. Looks like around 10 feet-ish right now.
Let's pan over to pole vault, see if we can watch a little bit of that while we are waiting for the finals in our hurdles and dashes.
Yeah, I'd say about 10 or 11 feet right now in the pole vault.
And like I said, Lars is going to pan over to pole vault. There we go.
Lars doing some acrobatics up there to
it's
spin the camera around.
Not the easiest situation. He's got a nice looking shot there of our pole vault. We'll keep it here for the moment.
I love watching pole vault. It's just such a cool event.
A little bit of a short run up. Yeah. With watching that athlete for all of 5 seconds, longer run up would help.
Pole vault expert.
I don't know about that. I've had at least over 2 years, 6 days of practice at it. I was once certified in it for coaching, so I do know a little bit.
Okay.
But, I mean, I have no idea what that athlete's going through right now. So it's hard to judge. Plus my angle. I guess that run up looks okay. Looks like we just got our print off for the finals of the girls' hurdles, which means that should be happening shortly.
Let's see, do we have... These are just track lineups, yes.
Yeah, those are heat sheets you're looking at. What are you looking for?
I was just seeing if we had field event
I don't think so.
lineups. But
Saw that pole vaulter. I take that back. Started with thought, decided against it. That's what I get for looking and then looking away. Some triple jump happening behind us as well.
had quite a triple jump show last year here
Yes.
at the divisional meet. A pretty nice setup here. It's like they got the finish straight away, and then the jumping pit, pole vault pit, and shot put, all within like 50 feet. Pretty good if you're trying to spectate.
Yeah, no, I feel like the hardest thing to watch here is javelin, but I can see some javelin throwers from where I'm standing. So discus in the inside, high jump on the inside.
Yeah, javelin's usually pretty tough just because obviously they're throwing so far that it kind of has to be somewhere out of the way where there's room for it.
Right. Yeah, discus and javelin usually it's not terrible to have a little extra space for those.
Yeah. Yeah, don't really want to cram those in somewhere.
Discus last night.
Yeah. I was at Seacoast last night, and we were pretty close to some stray discuses.
None came into the tent last night. We did feel the ground shake a couple of times though.
Yeah. But we made it. No incidents. At Merrimack, there was an incident. Someone got hit with a discus at Merrimack, remember?
Yeah, it's one of those things, spectator athlete, you always got to be aware of that stuff.
Yeah, that's why typically, they try to keep the throwing areas somewhat clear of where spectators will be walking around, because it's hard, you gotta keep your head on a swivel if you're walking around all the throwing events, especially discus or javelin. But people aren't always aware of it, so.
All right, looks like we've got some bodies starting to collect near our start line. So wondering if we're only a few moments away from that. So we're going to go ahead and shoot on over to our start. All right, this is definitely looking like it could be the start of something very soon.
Let's see, this should be the women's 100 hurdle finals. Let's see, we have Gwen Pelchat of Berlin, Adeline. We're going to go with Adeline. I'm pulling the Greg Hall. I'm going first names on this. I've decided.
Years of experience has taught me.
Yeah. Adeline of Belmont, Hannah of Franklin, Catherine of Plymouth Regional, Molly of Newfound Regional, Victoria of Winnisquam, Sierra of Portsmouth Christian, and Lily of Interlakes.
All right, looks like I got their first command, jumping around, backing into their blocks now. We've got our finals for the girls' 100-meter hurdles. One athlete opting not to use blocks.
Surprising in the 100 hurdles.
Clock you see unofficial, but does give us a frame of reference. Well out in front here.
Wow.
Who's that, Davio?
That would be Catherine Lures of Plymouth Regional. Taking that by a long shot.
That was a nice looking run from her, well out in front.
Oh, yeah. All right, the hurdles are being raised for our men's 110. In the men's hurdle finals, we have Nicholas of Guilford, Mitchell of Belmont, Aiden of Guilford, Cole of Plymouth, Elijah of White Mountain, Evan of Kearsarge, Cameron of Kingswood, and Quinn of Kingswood. And Plymouth, pretty good in hurdles, apparently. They have the two top times at this meet.
Did you say there was a Cole from Plymouth?
Yes. Cole Ahern.
Plymouth D2. He is currently second for D2 at 16:56. Our top time in D3 on Battle Notes is a 16:69.
Who is that?
Someone who's not here today.
Okay.
Tyler of Trinity. Elijah, you said, from White Mountains. He's
Yep.
in that top 10 mix on Battle Notes in D3.
Yep, he's the top D3 in this final.
Just confirmed, Tim Cox not actually on a break. He is doing social media and interviews.
Shirking his commentary duties.
I'm not buying it.
Ooh. Looks like he's might be creating an Instagram.
Good start here for the boys.
Yep. Plymouth way out in front again.
As expected there.
Yeah, so the double crown for Plymouth.
Yeah, he looks aggressive over those hurdles.
Yeah, even all the way through the last couple, which is typically where you see people kind of run out of momentum, steps start not really matching up where you want them to. All right, hurdles are being removed from the track. We got a good hurdle crew out there today.
Yeah, that was quick, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I got distracted by the replay, and I look up, and they're
I
gone.
know they're gone.
Good deal.
Shout out the hurdle crew today.
I feel like we've had a lot of strong hurdle crews this year.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
People stepping their game up. I like to see that.
All right, we have the 100-meter finals coming up now.
Girls are in their blocks.
We have Bryn of Kennett, Elle of Newfound, Lauren of Kingswood, Ada of Kennett, Emma of Belmont, Kylie of Kingswood, Kate of Kearsarge, and Jenny of Mascoma Valley. It's going to be Kennett winning that. That is Ada Wheat of Kennett taking the hurdle, or excuse me, the 100-meter finals. No hurdles in that race.
I feel like that allows them to just go faster.
I think it really does. Something about just not having to jump over things while you're running.
Just a little bit smoother of an experience. Again, that clock unofficial, but we can see a nice flying V effect there. Means we got some good seating going on. Couple close ones.
Here in the men's 100 final, we have Tristan of Laconia, Colby of Belmont, Isaiah of Guilford, Tim of Portsmouth Christian, Joshua of Bishop Brady, Jack of Bishop Brady, Perrin of Prospect Mountain, and Gabriel of Plymouth Regional.
All right, first command given. Guys shaking it out, getting into their blocks. We are set. Oh, I jumped the gun there. That's
False start.
That's why that clock is unofficial.
Pretty close heat.
Nice. Yeah, I'd take that. Nice competitive finals. That's great for the athletes. I mean, just having someone right there who can kind of push you usually leads to good things.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's typically the case, regardless of event. Is obviously if you're competing hard against some close competition, then it definitely helps you improve your performance.
All right, that was it for our dash finals, right? Moving
Correct.
on. Moving on. 1600. Everything from here on out on the track is finals. Doesn't matter if there's multiple heats. Anyone can score.
Also, that was Joshua of Bishop Brady winning the 100-meter finals. So in the women's 1600 meters, we have Catherine of Guilford, Ada of Moultonborough, Amy of Kennett, Georgia of Guilford, Adriana of Berlin, Emma of Messinic, Abigail of White Mountains, Ava of Kearsarge, Caitlin of Kearsarge, Gabrielle of Portsmouth Christian, Brielle of Messinic Regional, Amber of Prospect Mountain, Victoria of Messinic Regional, and Annalise of Kearsarge.
Full fields. Temperature is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, this is great. Great conditions for 16.
There's no wind. Gosh, it's been a windy spring. Kat Stowe to the early lead.
She's the number one seed coming in.
Looks like Molten Burrows. Ada Chapman right behind her. And true to seeds, Amy Burton from Kennett, third. Georgia Eckert from Guilford, fourth at this point. Right, true to seeds, Doff.
Yeah, they're all running right in a row like
And I
they're
can't
supposed
see.
to.
Actually, I think Berlin's the fifth seed's in fifth place right now. Zoom in. I can't see.
Pretty sure that's what Scott was telling him on the line is make sure you line up in the order of your hip number and stay in it.
Yeah, pretty easy for timing.
Yeah. Anything to make life easier, you know?
Yeah, just all around smoother.
Well, everyone up front looks pretty relaxed.
Yeah, that group of four that's gonna be a pretty good race.
I'm gonna go through in about 5:25 pace.
Yep. And true to form. And we were right, Berlin's Adriana Lefebvre is fifth. But White Mountains, Abigail McCusker
Moving
moved
up.
a bit. Then you have Emma from Messinic, Schaumlaffel. I think I did that right. Maybe not. Apologize if I didn't. For the third time today.
Sounded like you just mumbled something.
Looks like it almost looks like a workout. They're lined right up, and Kat Stowe's really towing the field right now. They're just kind of sitting behind her. 600 meters in, about 2:04.
Yeah, it does look like they're just in the middle of a
Good
rep right
workout,
now.
yeah. Looks like they're doing a rep.
Just hop on the train.
Girls and boys 4x100-meter relay can start checking in. Girls and boys 4x100-meter relay.
And coming on the stretch, there's not much more to report. It's the same formation. Is that the Flying V? Mighty Ducks?
Not sure about that one.
Mighty
in
Ducks.
in the
Ice hockey.
distance.
The flying eye.
Yeah.
Flying Eye? Okay, Flying Eye. There you go.
All right, I got two distance guys here. Tell me, what's the strategy at this point into the race? Couple laps in.
Well, I mean, they're rolling. They're at like about 540 pace.
So are you
530, 540.
Are you just happy with the pace? You're going to sit where you are? Are you going to try and challenge anything?
I think Kat Stowe is a veteran, and she's trying to run a certain pace, and the others are trying to sit with her. If the third lap is always traditionally the toughest lap.
Yeah, I think based on how they're lined up and their seating, Stowe is trying to run her performance.
Yep.
And then the other three are kind of just along for the ride right now, letting her kind of drag them to a good time.
I mean, usually when they're stretched out like that, as far as the line is concerned, it's the pace is honest, and no one really wants to push the pace. And judging by how Kat Stowe now has put 5 meters on Chapman, I think that they're doing all they can to hang with her. So if I was Kat Stowe, to answer your question in a long-winded way, I'd keep putting on the pressure this lap, because she could win the race right here, especially if she dropped it.
Yeah, the third lap, you really got to keep on the gas.
Looks like might have a slight move, or just the angle distorting
She's just
me.
been turning the screws a little bit here and put a little more distance there.
Yeah.
About 5-7 meters.
All right, if you're coaching Kennett, what are you telling? Is this person going to make a move at some point, and where did they make it?
If I'm Kennett, I'd try to go right around Chapman right now and try to make a move on.
Try to close up on Stowe in front.
So you want to do that going into the turn, not at the end of it?
So going into the turn for sure, because going around the turn, obviously you're running more distance. They're about 545, 546 pace. Kat Stowe.
Move happening now. Kennett moving into second.
Kat Stowe's run 541 this year.
Yeah, I think if Kennett wants to catch up with Stowe, then I probably would have done it on the straightaway before this lap.
Well, that gap is closing.
She's closing the gap right now. She's closing the gap.
Yes,
She's going to pass her before the turn, just like Coach Hall said
Yeah,
to.
she's taking off.
Sprinter coach to see if Stowe has a response.
Yeah.
Burton's going by strong.
It looked like she got plenty of
Big
gas
move.
in her.
Yeah, she's looking strong, looking good. That
I think
gap
she
is
could have taken
increasing.
that. She could have taken that earlier.
Check
And
the D2.
That gap now about, call that close to 20 meters, 15, 20 meters.
Burton. Amy
Yeah.
Burns run 553 this year.
Wow, this is
She's
gonna
at
be real fast.
5:27, 5:28. She's going to move up in the D2 standings. She's going to be in the 5:30s. If she could just get across that line. Great race by Amy Burton from Kennett. 5:38 and change, give or take. Second place is Kat Stowe. Third place is Ada Chapman. Nice race. They definitely do owe a little bit there to Kat Stowe. And then Guilford's Georgia Eckert is fourth. And then White Mountains, Emma Schaumlaffel crossing the line, followed by Berlin's Adriana Lefebvre, Portsmouth Christians, Gabrielle Nickerson, Prospect Mountains, Amber Fernald, and then you have Messinic, Kearsarge.
That was a pretty good race up front.
That was good. PR, seasonal PRs. This boys race, we got Patrick Gandini. First sighting of Gandini today. He should be rounding into form pretty well, coming off of, that's Victoria Smith from Messinic finishing. She'd run the 4x8 earlier. Little double back.
Yeah, I was hearing him talk about his state's plans earlier, and
What does he got?
he's got a lot on the plate. Said he's doing 32, 16, 8, 4x4.
Here you go.
That's it.
So it's pretty much
That's
pretty
not
much
a
all
lot.
you can
That's
do.
simply not a lot. I don't know. I think he's slacking doing the 4x4. I think he should be in the 4x8. That's the maximum distance for the day.
Oh, I think you got to do 4 individual events. Maximize points that way.
Yeah, but he maximizes his distance with the 4x8. So that's the most distance you can do on the track that day without cheating.
Yeah, States is all about points, though.
I agree. I don't know if 400 would work out. The D3, they got some good 400 guys. But we got, in this we have Patrick Gandini from Guilford, Jonas Teeter from Portsmouth Christian. If there was somebody to give Patrick a little bit of a run, it would be Jonas Teeter from Portsmouth Christian, William Riley from Belmont, Connor Traffy from Messinic, Gavin Garcia from Kearsarge, Drew Traffy from Messinic, Luke Del Giudice from Kearsarge, Portsmouth Christian's Luke O'Halloran, White Mountains is Eli Percy, Jack Buffington from Muskoma Valley, and then get this name, Mr. Greg, Kennett's Henry Moneypenny.
Can't see the sheet, so I have to imagine you're making stuff up.
Not making it up. The sheet's right
Yeah, I
there.
still can't see it, sorry.
Henry Moneypenny. I got glasses. You
Can't
need
see
glasses?
Nah, I'm focused on the race, man, because out in
Gandini's taking
front
off
right
right
now
away.
we got Gandini.
That's Jonas Teeter. He looks good though. He's got a great stride to him. Don't count out William Riley either from Belmont. He's a strong competitor. He plays other sports. Comes out the spring track. And he always holds his own. Shows a lot of talent, a lot of promise. Man, if he ever became a full-time runner, he'd probably be right up there with Gandini. Gandini's not wasting any time. He's going through in 61, 62. That's 4. He's going to be going through in 4:08 pace. Teeter's through in 4:16 pace. Teeter looks good. And then Riley's playing it smart. That's 4:36 pace, followed by the pack, 4:40 pace, give or take. A lot of guys in the pack, especially Messinic, they've already run the 4x8. So, Teeter's hanging in there, Greg.
Still pretty good weather for them, actually.
Oh, it's perfection. Honestly, for the mile, it's 60 right now. I'll check that.
That fog's kind of moved up the mountain a little bit, but it's still sticking around.
No, that's definitely still there. So we got, according to, we're only at 60 degrees here right now.
That's not bad for a mile.
That's perfect. It's perfect. All right, let's see if Teeter can make a little bit of headway. And he's hanging tough. They basically ran the same split for the second lap for sure. If not, Teeter closed a little bit. They've definitely relaxed a little bit more. I mean, 4:08 pace is definitely a bit aggressive, but that's probably what Gandini wanted to do today. So now they're on 4:24, 4:25 pace. Teeter's on 4:29, 4:30 pace. Let's see if we could have anything there. If you can make an inroads on Patrick. Patrick's a very, very strong runner. That's Garcia with Connor Traffy.
They came through 2:24.
So 4:48 pace. These guys are on sub-5 pace. So let's see what happens. Gandini's a strong runner. I'd be surprised if Teeter can build into this. He's a real strong runner. But Teeter looks good. Right now in D3, Patrick has the fastest time at 4:29. Teeter's at 4:43. If he could hold it together this one more lap and kind of stay tight with Patrick, he's going to certainly PR. He looks good. I've seen Teeter's kick. Patrick should be a little bit careful here. Judging by what he might have rest of the day and his big week next week, he might be trying to make this as easy as possible. So 3:22, 3:23. That gives him to 4:30 pace, pretty safe. Now, if Teeter could throw a kick in here, he's gonna move up the battle notes pretty well. And Traffy and Garcia having a battle here. Let's see how the last lap goes. They both are kind of set up to run 450s. And then Garcia's teammate, that looks like Luke Del Giudice, followed by Portsmouth Christian's Teeter's teammate, Luke O'Halloran. Patrick's opening it up. Gandini on the backstretch here. He's trying to put this away now before the final stretch. Very smart. Garcia and Riley battling on the backstretch for third place. Let's see if Garcia has a bit of a response. Riley's been doing most of the work with this tandem. With 100 to go, Patrick's coming through at 4:18, 4:19. Teeter's coming through 4:22, 4:23. Teeter's going to PR. If he could just finish here, Patrick's going to cruise to a finish. Yeah, he's cruising. 4:32, 4:33. Followed by Teeter. 4:39. He might have broke 4:40. Certainly went out hard on that one. Good little practice for next week.
These two have been battling the whole race.
And Riley had enough strength to bring it through and take down 4:51, 4:52. Tell you what that means for them on the battle notes.
Great race there, the finish.
William Riley wasn't even on battle notes, so he's moved up a bunch. And Kearsarge Garcia was 4:53, so his 4:52 improves a little bit. Move up a little bit there. Great work. All right, I'm going to go do some more social. I'm not taking a break. If you guys want lunch, I'll get lunch for you.
Unofficially 4:33.6. Next event on the track is our girls 4x100. We have 2 heats of this. In heat number 1, lane 2, we have Winnisquam. 3 is Plymouth Regional. 4, Guilford. 5, Mascoma Valley. Tim leaves, Davio returns from his field event adventures.
Switched over to girls pole vault.
Now, did you stop the recording, start the recording? Got good recordings going on there?
No.
All right, heat 1 of 2 is off. Looks like we had.
Ooh, we got one drop.
I was going to say we had mostly clean handoffs.
Yeah. That was the inside lane, I believe, of Winnisquam.
Every meet we talk about handoffs being so crucial. Oh, here's a good looking move. I think that's Guilford right next to Plymouth. These two teams battling it out. Making it be a close finish. Wow.
I don't know how to call that.
Very nice.
Oh, great race.
Taking a look at that finish again. Very close. Looks like
What do you say?
Guilford over Plymouth. Just barely. That's a great finish. That's what you like to see in those races. All the way to the line. Checking all of the zones, making sure everyone's squared away. 4x100, 100 meters give or take for each leg. I say give or take. Someone could end up running a little bit more, meaning the other person runs a little bit less.
It just depends where in the zone you hand off.
Exactly. Ideally, that baton never slows down.
Ideally.
This heat looks to have 6 in it. Davia, who do we have?
We have Prospect Mountain in lane 1, Newfound Regional 2, Kennett 3, Belmont 4, Interlakes 5, and Laconia 6.
Looks like we had some successful handoffs.
Still got everybody running.
Yeah, a little bit of a slowdown there from one of the teams.
In 6th place, Connor Trappy of Messina. In 5th place, Luke Yoguchi of Kearsarge. In 4th place, Gavin Garza of Kearsarge.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be another close one. However, out in front, lane 3. And that one ended up finishing pretty nicely.
Kennett takes that one. Tuttle, Hammerjock, Fail, and Wheat on that team. All right, in the first seat. Ooh, this is odd. There's a DeLuca on the Laconia team. Shout out Laconia.
That's odd.
It's an unusual name.
Is it? I know someone with that name.
You do?
I do.
I don't know anybody.
Well, I can't help you there. All right, first heat of the boys.
All right, we got Newfound Regional, Kingswood, Mascoma Valley, Winnisquam, Guilford, and Prospect Mountain. Have you ever met anybody with your last name?
You know, it's happened once or twice. Not as often as you would think. But
Really?
yeah. That's okay. Kind of how I like it.
Yeah.
No one really ever messes it up either.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have that luxury. Good start from everybody. And Newfound taking off.
Lane 1 kid
Couple iffy handoffs there.
Iffy's a good word for it. I was looking for something like that.
Yeah.
It's all right. They still got a week to clean them up.
Yeah. We always say it. Handoffs are so important in these.
These boys' third legs are flying around that corner. I've seen more and more teams have one of their faster legs on the third corner. It used to be, or that third leg, used to be one of the spots where you'd bury someone.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
Guys came flying through here. I'm always surprised when you stand like right up close to the finish line, and you see everyone come through. Just like the speed that they carry.
I'd say starting to get a little bit brighter out. Having a harder time seeing the screen, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm going with.
I can feel it. The sun's getting stronger. Yeah, I'm sitting right on the edge of the tent, and I can feel the sun warming things up a little bit. Still pretty cool, but it's definitely starting to warm up. You can see the mountain now.
Oh yeah, that's coming out.
Was covered in fog for most of the morning.
Switch over, a little perspective. If you were with us earlier, you wouldn't see that much of the mountain over there.
All right, Heat 2, we have Portsmouth Christian, Plymouth Regional, Bishop Brady, Laconia, Kennett, and Belmont.
First command given. Of course, 4x1 done with blocks, so we have 3 commands. First command on your mark. Next command will be set, and then the gun. Clock on your screen, unofficial.
But they look pretty smooth there.
I was thinking those looked a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always the one we get to scrutinize the most.
These are all looking pretty good.
Brady, first to get theirs. And they are coming down to the finish line in first.
Yeah, I mean, they went 1-2 in the 100 final, so.
Good job, Tristan.
So you're saying they got some speed.
I would think so. Of course, you do need 4 people to have a good relay team, but it helps if you have the 1-2 in the 100. All right, this is the women's 400 meters. We have 4 heats of this. In Heat 1, we have Margaret of Prospect Mountain, Alexandra of Plymouth Regional, Autumn of Kennett, Anne of Mascoma Valley, and Stephanie of Kennett.
Just like that, they're off. Heat 1.
400 run in lanes. So you see them in their lanes all the way around the track.
In case you're sitting at home wondering what the order of events is today, we have our 400s going on right now. Following our 400s is our 300 hurdles, 800 meter, 200, 32, and 4x4 with a 3-turn stagger. Or in case you're sitting at the meet and curious. I saw someone watching us earlier when I was out and about.
Coming through right around 70. All right, second section on the track. We have Katrina of White Mountains, Ella of Prospect Mountain, Aiden of Laconia, Ayla of Kearsarge, and Lily of Franklin. Looks like Ella of Prospect Mountain scratched from the 4. A little wobble there.
I didn't fall for it this time.
All right, so we're down to 4 in this heat.
How many heats did you say?
4 heats.
4 heats.
This is heat 2 of 4.
Stole the clipboard. Can't see it at all anymore.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Hey, I gotta do the names.
Just yeah, I was gonna say just less for me to do. So
pretty even so far. Looks like White Mountains on the inside, and I think Ayla of Kearsarge making up some of the stagger. Is Laconia running about a 66. That's Aiden of Laconia winning the heat. All right, heat 3 right on the track.
yeah, they're moving along now.
Yeah, we're rolling through these heats. Yeah, we gotta hurry. The sun's coming out.
I can appreciate a good pace to a meet.
Yeah, it is nice when they're efficient with it. All right, in this heat we have Heron of Plymouth Regional, Grace of Kennett, Rachel of Kearsarge, Bibiana of Newfound Regional, Haley of Laconia, and Alyssa of Belmont. Looks like we're missing somebody in this heat as well.
Back to back, that's tough.
The official waiting for everybody to be still.
Got a fair start there. Heat 3.
Correct?
Everything definitely starting to get brighter.
Rachel of Kearsarge making up some ground, as well as Haley of Laconia.
Once again, this is NewHampshireTrackandField.com, powered by Runners Alley. Meet Hub today brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital. Photos, interviews, obviously this race video, all available now or after the meet. Davio, in addition to commentating, is actually taking pictures of the finish. As we see our finish of Heat 3.
All right, that was Haley of Laconia taking that heat. We have heat 4 of 4. This is Soraya of Newfound, Marcella of Kingswood, Piper of Kennet, Kylie of Kingswood, Valerie of Interlakes, and Megan of Plymouth Regional. Looks like we're missing Newfound in lane 1. So, a couple scratches from this event. Recognize a few names in this heat from previous meets. We had Kylie of Kingswood, we saw at Oyster River. Ran a scoring time out of a slower heat.
Yeah, that was a notable performance.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like she came in without a seed and then ended up, I think, coming in like second or third.
I think it was second.
Yeah.
Have to double check, but sounds about right.
And then obviously now with that time getting seated in the fastest heat.
Results of the men's 4x100. In 6th, Kingswood. In 5th, Belmont. In 4th, Kennet. In 3rd, Laconia. In 2nd, Plymouth Regional. And the winner of the men's 4x100 at time 45-95, Bishop Brady.
Like a 60 point. That would be Piper of Kennet with the win. Just over 60 seconds. All right, we're on to the men's 400. We have 4 heats of this as well. We have Nick of Franklin, Logan of Newfound, and Ethan of Prospect Mountain. It's only 3 in this heat.
Lars taking a micro break, but he got to figure it out in time. That's all he can do is micro breaks.
Yeah. Like we said, efficient. No time for breaks. It's like Franklin out to a early lead through 200.
Tell you, some of these jerseys I haven't seen yet this year, so it's great to be here and cover some of these schools that we don't always get to see until states. A close race between 2 and 3.
That is Franklin taking the win. About 58-59. That's Nick of Franklin. On to Heat 2. We have Charles of Bishop Brady, Marco of Interlakes, Caden of Kingswood, and Reed of Plymouth.
So again, those times are unofficial, but you can kind of measure out where each of these athletes are. It's as close as we have to live results right now. Guesstimate.
The finishing on the top spot today please make your way over to the Guilford Track and Field pit to pick up your award. Again, finishing the top 3, please head over to the track pit.
Fair start.
Only 3 in this heat. Let's see. We are missing Plymouth out of this heat. Ooh, there's the sun.
Good surge right there. Kingswood taking that over
That
Bishop
is
Brady.
Caden of Kingswood. Oh, actually, so Reed of Plymouth was in that heat. We were missing Marco of Interlakes. All right, on to heat 3. Nice and quick. We have Gabriel of Franklin, Tristan of Interlakes, Patrick of Winnisquam, Joey of Prospect Mountain, Ariel of Bishop Brady, and David of Berlin.
This heat off.
Got a big lead here. I believe that's Winnisquam out in front. Looks like Patrick of Winnisquam winning this by a while. It's a 52 high, looks like.
It's a good looking time for today.
Yeah, should keep an eye on that compared to the 4th heat, because I think that should be up there. Yeah, I would imagine that beats a few people in the 4th heat.
Unofficial on my end, 52.9, so that's based off of hand time, though. A nice race right there for second.
Yeah, that's a good time. All right, we have Sullivan of Laconia, Kylan of Kennett, Owen of Interlakes, Isaiah of Guilford, Casey of Kingswood, and Lewis of Kingswood in the final heat of the boys 400. Well, Scott Clark doing double duty, lining up everybody in their lanes and standing on their blocks for them.
Not to diminish Scott Clark's accomplishments. Anyone can stand on some blocks and usually helps move the meet along, so we appreciate it if you're near that line and they call, go volunteer. It's not that bad. I've done it once or twice. My favorite's actually doing it for a 200 if I have an athlete in the heat. Make sure their blocks are lined up okay. Help them with that angle a little bit if they need to. See, there's advantages to doing it. All right, on their mark again.
A little bit of confusion which heat this was.
It's the one on the track.
Got all sorted.
Fair start.
Interlake's off to a quick start. Already made up the entire stagger in the first 100. Dude is flying. That is Owen of Interlakes. Pretty close there at the end between Owen of Interlakes and Sullivan of Laconia. Did you get a rough time on that?
Rough time in the winner, 51.7. Second, right around 51.9 again. That tells me they're about 0.2 apart. I could be totally off with what I have for actual hand time, though.
Yeah, I'd say the win from that third heat, though, is definitely in there.
Oh, yeah. Top 6 for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think probably was around third or fourth.
All right, I see some hurdles making their way onto the track.
Yes, we have the 300 hurdles. We have 3 heats of the women. First heat, we have Brooke of Guilford, Gabrielle of Portsmouth Christian, and Gabby of Woodsville.
Take a note on your screen there. Under that tent is a shadow because that sun is breaking through. Not completely, but it's right about there.
Yeah. Honestly, right around now is like perfect. I can feel the sun. It's nice and warm, but it's not hot out.
Yep. You're saying it's comfortable for 300 hurdles?
I would say so.
I think so, too.
Once again, hurdle crew doing a great job today. I didn't even actually see anybody put hurdles out, but they're out there.
It's a new update with the track. They actually they're embedded in the track, and then they raise
They
up.
should do that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And then plop so they can fall over,
Right. Yes.
Falling over for these hurdles is key.
Pretty
This is
important.
Not steeple where you have barriers instead of hurdles.
Right.
Those would hurt more.
Right. Yeah, especially in the 300 hurdles, I feel like you're definitely going to have some people clipping them at the end as they get tired.
You heard it here first. Davio has cursed at least one person today. As far as I can tell, that commentator curse is alive and well, because every time we say something about, oh, this person's got it easy, they fall over that last hurdle. So
Yeah, we have done it a few times this year. So sorry, anybody that happens to.
Again, any complaints, please feel free to send them to Jim McKenzie. He is responsible for all curses that we put on. Again, this is our first of 3 heats for the girls' 300-meter hurdles. We are working slow to fast today, as we saw with those 400s. Although, as we saw with those 400s, you can score if you're not in that last heat, fastest heat. You can score no problem. Apparently, Davio didn't have enough going on. He set up an extra camera for no reason. Coach Cox finally makes it back to the tent just to sit down and eat. White flag. We have a white flag. Should be getting going with these. Whistle sounds. Starter. Gonna start giving some commands. In fact, I see girls backing into their blocks now. Good start.
We have replays going on tonight too, so it's super. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we've been covering, as you probably know, we've been covering track here. I'll see like here in Belmont.
3 in this heat. Again, that's Brooke, Gabrielle, and Gabby.
I think this is the first Woodsville I've seen today. I believe.
I might have seen one other.
Yeah?
Might have. Not sure.
Yeah, I think I missed the first couple events, so. I was just saying we haven't seen Woodsville too much today. But yeah, you can see the second mountain. The other ridge back there. Honestly, pretty nice day today. Close one. It's Gabrielle of Portsmouth Christian winning that. Heat 2 of 3. We have Victoria of Winnisquam, Bristol of Kearsarge, Ellie of Kearsarge, Adeline of Belmont, and Margaret of Prospect Mountain.
Right around 58.5 for our winner. 58.8 and 59.6.
Unofficially.
Unofficially. That's why I said right around, you know? I feel like 300 hurdle starts are always the hardest to watch from the finish area. 200s, I know exactly where they are on any track. 300 varies a little bit more. That clock is definitely a guesstimation. That's right, Davio. Just eat more pizza. My commentators doing a great job staggering their meals, both eating now.
I'm fueling.
Tim mumbled through some food. I'm doing social. So in this second heat, we have Victoria of Winnisquam, Bristol, Kearsarge, Ellie Kearsarge, Adeline Belmont, and Margaret of Prospect Mountain.
I announced them.
Did you?
I did. I'm doing my job.
Yeah, you're not calling it right now, telling me that this is a good race between Victoria and Bristol. Ooh, nice finish there. That was close.
I don't know who got that.
That was a tough one from this angle.
See, I should be able to tell who got that because I am at the line.
I feel like that, again, would be your job. We do ask a lot of Davio. 52.4, but that timing start was off by me. So about second between first and second, and then the race for third, very, very close. Going to give it to lane 5 over lane 4 from what I'm seeing here. Of course, the cameras that the timers are using capture quite a bit more in terms of those frames in between that we're seeing here. So they obviously would have the official.
All right, in Heat 3, we have Samantha of Kennett, Gwen of Berlin, Lauren of Kingswood, and Stacia of Newfound Regional, Sierra of Portsmouth Christian. This is the third of 3, so this will be the final heat of the women's 300 hurdles.
I was looking for the start. Couldn't find him. No clock on this one. Fortunately, Davio can see the clock on the infield.
Which is not running. There we go.
Ooh, a little bit of a stumble there. Survives it, though.
All right, so that's Newfound winning the overall 300 hurdles. That is Stacia of Newfound. All right, hurdle crew is out there. Pretty much already done already. Moving the hurdles up for the boys' 300 hurdles. We have Caden of Guilford, Cameron of Kingswood, Curtis of Plymouth, Quinn of Kingswood, and Stevie of Mascoma Valley in the first of 2 heats.
All right, here we go. We have our first heat of boys.
I read them.
Did you read them, Davio? I don't know. What are we doing? He doesn't even,
You read them, but
he
you
doesn't even turn on my mic.
didn't turn on the mic.
Dude, what's up? I don't have a lot of time here. I'm pretty important. Running around, troubleshooting, social media.
Troubleshooting.
I might need to go do.
Yeah.
What are you
said
troubleshooting?
Troubleshooting social media.
What's the trouble?
Does this work?
The trouble is he doesn't know how to use it.
No, it's called sending videos to Addison, and she uploads it to Instagram.
So wait, you're not even doing the.
No, I'm just doing videos, bro.
You're not even doing the social posts.
No, but I take good videos.
He's a cinematographer.
That was Curtis Smoker, rolling to the victory in Heat 1 of 2. Davio's eating pizza, so he's not going to do any of these introductions. Literally have 2 pairs of glasses on.
I feel
right
like he's
I
been eating
keep-
pizza half the meat.
I keep doing all the introductions, and then immediately
pays
afterwards
attention.
you guys go, hey, can you do introductions?
because we're actually working. All right, heat number 2, final heat. This is slow to fast, so this should be the heater heat. Guilford, lane 1, Guilford, Nicholas Haddocks. He's been all over the place today. Lane 2, White Mountains, Elijah Bayou. Lane 3 from Guilford, Aiden Malik. Said that name before. Kennett's in lane 4, Tyler McCluskey. Lane 5, Kearsarge, Evan Menard. And lane 6 from Belmont, Mitchell Berry. Just a reminder, this is NewHampshireTrackandField.com, sponsored by Runner's Alley. And today's Meat Hub sponsor is Tim's Truck Capital. Early lead is assuredly Guilford. Aiden Malik to the early lead in the first stretch has already made up the stagger on the field. I would say Belmont's Mitchell Berry is next. Let's see how they're coming off. Coach Hall, how do you see it?
Through a monitor.
Right, but how do you see who's in the lead? That was the perfect time, then you just blew it. So coming down the stretch, hopefully Davio gets the camera ready for some stills.
Guilford still out in front.
Still Malik. Now coming through 41, 40, 42 and change. He is happy about that, ladies and gentlemen. Kennett, then Belmont. So Kennett McCluskey, then Belmont Mitchell. That was Guilford's Aiden Malik. And we're ready for some 800s.
Clock there unofficial. Couldn't quite see the
It's 41, 42
start, but he's definitely happy about that one.
And Scott Clark, if you can see it, this is how you run a track meet. He's very polite, quiet, getting him on the track.
I feel like he could get him on the track faster, though.
I don't know, man. There's 2 heats of the girls 800. We got from Guilford, Ganacos, Vanessa, Newfound Regional, both from Newfound Regional, Savannah Bradley, Leah Diuso, Kearsarge, Madeline Prack, Messinic, Mackenzie Valancourt. We probably know whose sister she is. Muscoma Valley, Megan Clough, Bishop Brady, Alyssa LaValle, Guilford, Megan Hughes, Moulton Burrows, Kylie Burkhart, Newfound Regionals, Taylor Mooney, Bishop Brady's Olivia Blanchard, Moulton Burrows, Grace Elliott, Prospect Mountains, Emily Sherteff, and then Amelia Smith from Messinic.
Quick shout out to Tyler Sheedy watching. Surprise, surprise there.
He's probably going down to Londonderry right now, right, Tyler?
He said he wish he could be there. Wish he could be here, so he's not wrong. He says it looks like a fun meet. It certainly is. Definitely, like we were talking about earlier during one of the breaks, kind of a community feel with a whole bunch of schools helping out to get this production up and going.
It's true, New Hampshire. Everybody combines, comes together, collaborates to put on the best meet possible for the kids, and that's why we're so proud of this state.
Do we have an official meet director today, or is it just committee?
It's a committee, so it's the Wilderness League Committee.
Tim, that was good alliteration there.
I tried for that, not really.
That means he definitely did.
All alliterative synonyms. Pretty good.
Salty synonyms.
All right, here we go.
Okay, this is the first heat. The next heat is the faster heat. But we expect some really tight racing here. Wilderness League is a phenomenal league. It's been around forever. Pure track and field, pure New Hampshire track and field here in the Lakes region. For those that are tuning in from across the country or even the world, we have people tuning in from the world, believe it or not. We're nestled right just south of Lake Winnipesaukee. Great view of the Belknaps. The high school's nestled right in there. So in the early lead, can't quite make her out. 2 are in the lead. I think that's Guilford's Vanessa Janakos. Followed by Bishop Brady's Alyssa LaValle. We'll see what kind of time they set up for the next heat. It's actually oftentimes what's deemed the slower heat. Drops the time, they're on 2:42 pace. Drops the time that the first they might sneak into the scoring. 2 Moulton Borough runners. I'll take that's Grace Elliott and Amelia. Yeah.
For anyone wondering, Tyler Sheedy currently at home.
He should be at Londonderry supporting someone,
Should be
significant others, I think. Significant other, I think, is around the mile today. That might be over with by now, though, actually.
Your results on that.
So Guilford's Vanessa Janakos has about a 5-minute lead, but Bishop Brady's Olivia Blanchard's making headroads on it. She's going to pass her before the turn. Let's see if Janakos has a response. Looks like Brady's put that move on right before the turn, Coach Hall. That's a pretty popular move today. In all of track and field, really.
I'm just surprised how many times I'm seeing it right before the turn. A lot of times I see it slingshotting off of the turn onto a straightaway.
Which one do you think is better, Coach Hall?
Well, one of them I get to say slingshot, so obviously that one.
Whenever you pass somebody, it's good.
Chloe ran a 5:11
5:11, legit.
for the win.
Sheldon Fisher ran 5:12 last night. And that's Bishop Brady's Marlboro's coming right up towards the end. Kylie Burke, that must have been Kylie Burkhart. But that was Bishop Brady's. Olivia Blanchard with the win. What was the time, give or take, Coach Hall? Do you have that? The unofficial? What kind of bar did they set for
Not
Brianna
yet.
Malone?
Take a look.
So back to Chloe Trail ran a 5:11 today. That sets up pretty good for next week. Sheldon Fisher ran a 5:12 last night. Sheldon Fisher's the up-and-comer. A junior, but she's up-and-coming. And that should be some pretty good racing next week in D2.
And there you go, coming in and second off each other.
Brianna Malone's yawning.
She's ready to go.
I know a really fast runner back about,
Unofficial
gosh,
about 2:49.7.
49. I think Brianna can nail that. A long time ago, I don't know, it was 15, 17 years ago. Actually, she sold shirts for us. One of the first Wilderness Leagues we covered. But Greg's sister, Sarah, who was a state record holder, would yawn before most of her races. And then, of course, she was a sprinter, 100, 200, 400. So in this race, in the final, really, we got Brianna Malone from Portsmouth Christian, Piper Lopashansky from Kennett, Molly Ellison from Kearsarge, Grace Purley from Kennett, Amelia Lefebvre from Kearsarge, Kylan Frankiewicz from Kearsarge, Maddie Burlock from Guilford, Ilana Polar from Interlakes, and Alana Sawyer from Guilford, and Rebecca Edgren from Belmont. And by the time I got done with that, Brianna Malone has already opened up a 20-meter lead by the 200. And we're at 35. She's on 216, probably 216, 217 pace. We don't have a great angle from here, but she's already taken off. She ran the 400 last night at Seacoast. And she's here running the 8. So she hasn't run a lot of other events besides the 8. So the 400, that'll be good for her to get on the board for the D3s and then be able to choose or do both. Wouldn't be surprised to see her do both, actually. Super talent, Brianna Malone. So she's going to be coming through here, 68, 69, 70. So that's right on 220 pace. She's been kind of time trialing that this season. She usually brings it in at 217, 218. The rest of the pack, 80 from Kearsarge, Molly Ellison. Followed by a pair of Kennett Eagles, Piper Lopashansky and Grace Purley. And then Interlakes, Alana Polar is in between packs. And we'll see what Malone does. Malone is at about 144, 145 through 600, excuse me. And coming into the final turn, she's at 202, 203. Looking strong, priming, getting primed for next week in the next series. The patented but Brianna Malone kick, grown so accustomed to. We're at 215, 216 unofficial right now. She's going to finish in 219 to 220.
She's
219 and change.
always impressive to watch her. A lot of times running solo.
And in second place, coming through, be Kearsarge's Molly Ellison, followed by Piper Lopashansky, Interlakes Ilana Polar, followed by Kearsarge's Amelia. Those are your top finishers as the clock is just now past 250, 251. So those seats were set up perfectly. Great job. Shout out to Brianna Malone, who continues just to pile up the wins. Not sure if she's going to have much else until meet a champion.
Yeah,
as far
she's
as
been
company.
running by herself pretty much all year.
Yeah. That goes when she goes to the larger school meets too.
Yeah.
All right. First heat, only one heat of the boys 800. Got a big list here, 15. They're throwing them on the track now. Got Patrick Gandini of Guilford. He already won the mile today, or 1,600. Kylie Morneau from Kennett. Dennis Simpson from Prospect Mountain. Ryan O'Shea from Messina. Aiden Bondas from Guilford. Luke O'Halloran from Portsmouth Christian. Gabrielle Elanello from Kingswood. Ben Anderson from Kearsarge. David Swain from Winnisquam. Carter Forrest from Guilford. Jeffrey Huckins, Newfound. Henry Moneypenny from Kennett. I want to meet that kid. Ivan Sturgis from Portsmouth Christian. Dominic Cicchetti from Messinic Regional. And Brendan Goodwin from Winnisquam.
Gandini out in front.
Ah, yeah. Gandini going off to a start. Let's kind of see how he plays this one. Doubling back. I'm sure it's a bit of a workout. Obviously not as much as what he's doing next week.
Yeah.
He's got Kennett's Kylie Morneau sitting on his shoulder.
What's crazy is this first lap's not going to be too far off what he ran in the 16.
Yeah, and he was definitely measuring himself in the 16.
In the boys 16 in Londonderry, we had 9 guys under 435.
9 guys. What won Londonderry?
Harriman, 424.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah. To Redmond, 424. 2 tenths off. And then
Who's that?
that's Redmond of Bedford.
Okay.
A sophomore runs 424. That's legit.
Gandini's coming through, 60-61. Prospect Mountain's third, Dennis Simpson. That was Kenneth Kylie Morneau. And the pack comes through in 66-67.
Luke Brennan, 425. Killian, 426. Close race. 4 guys between 2 seconds.
I'm sure that's one in the kick there. Morneau's trying to put a little pressure on Gandini. Let's see if he does the patented pass before the turn. Gandini just dropped it a little bit. He's going to hold him off before the turn. Very smart.
And he's got some speed.
He does. Strength, speed. He's got the total package, actually. Let's see what happens off this turn. I think Gandini's starting to kind of just pull away nice and lightly. Morneau still has some fight in him, you can tell, though. Coming down the stretch. Gandini just firing the arms. Morneau's trying to make some inroads. Great effort by Morneau. We're at 2 flat right now for Gandini. 202, 203, 204, 205. Gandini leaning. Probably trying to make that a habit. Prospect Mountain, 208 was Dennis Simpson, give or take. Guilford's Aiden Bondas and Carter Forrest crossing next. And then the pack coming through. Clock is right around 2:20 right now.
I like
Great
the
job.
lean.
You got to make it a habit, because if you don't make it a habit, you're not necessarily going to do it when it comes time to do it. So
Yeah, you don't really want to be, in a big race and then have to tell yourself, I need to remember to lean here, you
Right.
know? Kind of want it
making
to
it a
just
habit.
be automatic.
For sure. All right, we got the girls 200s are next. I'm going to go get some social media, because I'm the social media king. You guys enjoy calling the sprints. Greg
All
Hall,
right.
Cole Brown School record holder in the 200.
Not in the triple jump.
Once again, this is NewHampshireTrackandField.com, powered by Runner's Alley, coming at you from the 2022 Wilderness League Championships. Today's meetup sponsored by Tim's Truck Capital. You want to go in the market for a truck or even a car, that's where you want to visit, is Tim's Truck Capital in Epsom, New Hampshire.
All right, we got 5 heats of the women's 200. Heat 1, we have Maya of Woodsville, Jacqueline of Newfound, Catherine of Kennett, and Helena of Belmont. At least you got some nice heat for the 200s.
Yeah, sun's coming out just in time for that.
100s were a little cold, I think. Not close heat. And the sun's out, the wind's picking up a little bit too. It's been pretty still all morning.
That was a pretty close finish to that heat.
All right, in Heat 2, we have Isabella of Newfound, Lily of Franklin, Katrina of White Mountains, Vanessa of Kennett, and Olivia of Interlakes.
Looks pretty close. At least at the 90-meter mark.
Come on, Kenny! Push it, Kenny! You're right there! Come on!
Like that was Franklin taking that heat. Lily Franklin. Heat 3, we have Jalen of Belmont, Ella of Plymouth Regional, Leah of Laconia, Jenny of Mascoma Valley, Heron of Plymouth Regional, and Chloe of Prospect Mountain.
Clock a little bit off on this one. Again, this is Heat 3 of 5, going slow to fast. Nice close race there.
Heat 4, we have Talia of Belmont, Jada of Belmont, Alyssa of Interlakes, Kate of Kearsarge, Madeline of Laconia, and Anna of Guilford.
In their block set.
Man, they're really firing these 200s off.
Not seeing any smoke either. It makes my job harder. It's good though. You always like a meet that gets into a rhythm with it.
All right, that was Alyssa of Interlakes winning that heat. Yeah, I think it's helpful, honestly, for the athletes with warm-ups and things if the meet's in a nice, smooth rhythm like that. Because then, you know, you kind of...
Yeah, it's predictable. You know.
Right. You have
when
an
you're
idea of when you're going to run. Because obviously some meets, it's like... I mean, you know when you're running in terms of the order of events, but you don't really know how long things are going to take, if there's going to be delays, if it's going to go really fast. Like, you don't know. But if everything's going nice and smooth like this, then it's pretty easy to be like, oh, you know, I have around this much time until my race. This is when I'm going to warm up. You know, this is when you check in. And then it just helps things go smoothly.
Athletes on their mark.
We have Elle of Newfound Regional, Lauren of Kingswood, Ada of Kennett, Catherine of Plymouth Regional, Emma of Belmont, and Bryn of Kennet in this heat. This is the 5th and final heat of the women's 200.
I'm willing to bet someone from a previous heat will score. Might be because there's only 5 in this heat.
Does make it a little easier to make that bet.
Figured why not, you know?
Yeah. So that is Ada Wheat of Kennet winning the women's 200 meters. Is that Mike announcing?
Yeah, Mike Smith is doing the in-house announcing.
Yeah, see, everybody's involved in this meet.
Of course, Mike Smith of Messinic, not of Guilford, where we find ourselves today. Just, again, goes to show how this is done by committee.
All right, this is heat 1 of 6 in the boys 200 meters, or men's 200 meters.
Boys in high school.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
High school, we say boys and girls. College, we say men's and women's.
Interesting.
Not my rule, I just follow it.
Oh, okay. This is Devin of Interlakes, Hunter of Kearsarge, and Dimitri of Belmont. See, the sheets say men, so...
Yes. Yeah, you have to ignore that.
Tough.
Well, can be for some.
That would be me. I am some.
Wow, they're getting them blocks quick. I might not have time for this. Oh, they're still practicing. We're good.
Yeah.
Nice little replay of these 3 from our first heat.
All right, heat 2, we have Reed of Plymouth Regional, Nick of Bishop Brady, Quinton of Kearsarge, Cameron of Kingswood, Nick of Franklin, and Athanasius of Newfound Regional. That's a cool name.
Pretty sizable lead for a 200 at least. Yeah, a little bit close near the end.
Yeah, I got pretty close. That's Brady, Nick of Brady. Heat 3. Have Logan of Kennet, Tyler of Kennet, Nate of Portsmouth Christian, Nick of Bishop Brady, Devin of Kennet, and Asher of Franklin.
Again, these times are hand time. Today's meet is FAT, so we will get some legit looking results later on today.
Maybe you see FAT at big meets like this.
There's so much more FAT than what there used to be. It's great to see.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming more and more common.
Distance, you probably don't care about it too much.
Nah.
Sprints, that was definitely a factor.
I mean, it can still make a difference, especially if you're, trying to break one of those kind of specific number barriers. You go, oh, I ran, 8:59 or whatever, and then no, you didn't. You ran 9 flat.
We're just trying to see which you guys
Brady winning this heat as well. Doing well in the 200 as well as the 100. That was Nick of Brady. Or was that was Alan of Brady? I lost count of my heats.
Well, that's not good.
I know. Who was in that heat? All right. Pretty sure that was Nick of Bishop Brady.
You can put old paper in here, you know.
Oh, look at that. Yes, that was Nick of Bishop Brady. In this heat, we have Alan of Bishop Brady, Nate of Bishop Brady, Owen of Interlakes, Gabriel of Franklin, Alan of Bishop Brady, David of Berlin, and Yaren of Woodsville.
Another Woodsville.
A few of those athletes. Where is Woodsville?
I was about to ask you that.
Yeah. Let's say.
Something someone might look up in the near future.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, Woodsville is in New Hampshire. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah. Had to triple fire the gun there.
Well, I'll tell you, that's one of the things from being a timer, you notice, like, you can get into a rhythm, get into a groove, but if something holds up, sometimes the starter's not always double-checking for that white flag. They're just so used to next one, next one, next one.
Yeah, like we were just saying how efficient it's been. It's like, all right, next people in their blocks, go, and then if you have one little snag in the timing, then they might just send the next heat.
All right, try this one again. They're in their blocks now.
Yeah. Also doesn't help 200 on the other end of the track.
Right.
Communication, bit of an issue.
Oh.
This heat 4,
It might not be right in there, but
I believe it's heat 4 of 6.
Brady again. It's 3 in a row. It was Nate and Alan. Brady going 1-2. Or 2-1, depending on which order I announce their names. All right, this is heat 5.
Not sure why you'd announce it 2-1.
Well, because I wasn't sure what order they finished.
But they're both Brady.
Yes.
You lost me.
I said Nate and Alan,
Oh, okay.
right? But I don't know if it was Nate and Alan or Alan and Nate.
I got you now.
All right.
I missed the name, see?
Yeah. See, you never hear me announce all the people's
I'm
names.
too focused on other things.
Now you're not even doing anything over there.
No. Should I announce every time I hit a button?
Yes.
I hit a button. Hit a
Just tell us
button.
what button.
Hit a
too.
button.
All right, in this heat, we have Landon of Plymouth, Damien of Belmont, Sullivan of Laconia, Matthew of Kingswood, Albert of Laconia, and Jack of Kennett.
Little break from button pressing. See, I heard those names because it was during my break, my mental break. Good race here, though. Hit a button.
I hit a button, too.
Button, 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 button. Scroll
All right,
wheel.
Laconia doing pretty well in that heat.
Scroll
Albert
wheel.
and Sullivan.
Button.
All right,
Oh,
that's enough.
you done?
I'm done.
I haven't even pulled up the replay yet. That's a close heat. Yeah,
All right, this is
that's great.
the
That one came down to the lean a little bit. That's one of the first ones I've seen where the lean's actually made a pretty big difference in terms of
you gotta
placement.
lean.
Placement within heat. Lean always helps with the time if you do it right. But in terms of placement and heat, that I think that might have got it.
All right, in the final heat, we have Tristan of Laconia, Jack of Bishop Brady, Logan of Mascoma Valley, Owen of Interlakes, Zach of Kearsarge, and Tim of Portsmouth Christian. Yep. Final heat.
Last heat of the boys 200. 3,200 next, which means I imagine Coach Cox will be back for that. But right now, we've got these guys barreling down on us.
That was Owen of Interlakes. Also won the 400, I believe, that we just saw. So he's having a good day.
Tell you, there's one thing I've noticed by doing this is there's a lot of people who like to lean early.
Interesting.
Might be one of those things where you can kind of try and work on it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still good though. Better to lean, not to lean, unless you fall on your face.
Yeah, see, I was a 2-miler, so I didn't really get into the whole lean thing. I still did it occasionally, but
See, for me, if we're talking lean for a 2-miler, we're talking about the starting line and how you start and how you're balanced right at the start to make sure you get out in front of everyone else trying to elbow and box you in. Not that you guys would ever elbow each other.
oh no, never. Well, me personally, no.
No, of course not. Next event on the track is the 3,200 meter.
Have the women's 32 up first. We have Ada of Moultonborough, Layla of Kearsarge, Veronica of Prospect Mountain, Adriana of Berlin, Ella of Kennett, Molly of Kennett, Kylie of Moultonborough, Chloe of Newfound, Amy of Kennett, and Grace of Kennett.
Tavio, don't forget to say the names.
So in this heat, we
Very good, very good. All right, here we go. Girls coming onto the track now.
Cox, we've been discussing the importance of the lean in the 3200.
What are your thoughts? Not yet.
There you are.
Very, very important.
See, I told you. It's all about the lean at the start.
Greg says the lean is more important at the start line than at the finish line.
It's all about your balance.
Spoken like a true
I mean, honestly,
ignorant sprinter.
Oh, I would disagree.
you could have a nice forward lean the whole time while
You
you're
could.
running.
That's one thing
Hey,
that
if
Aiden
I
does well.
recall correctly, I've actually coached Aiden and Addison on leaning at the start line.
You have, because they have a tendency of putting their left arm forward with their left
you
foot.
used to
and that
yell at
drives
me
me
for
nuts.
that all the time.
Yeah, it's just you don't
Yeah,
run
you
that
don't
way.
you don't run that way.
It's not the way you start. It's a wasted motion. I feel like we have less. Do we have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Somebody's not running. That's
They're
okay.
missing somebody.
We'll identify them as they come around.
Yeah.
Looks like Molten Burrow is taking the lead. Is that
Ada Chapman.
Ada Chapman? Or it could be Kylie Burkhart. You've said these names, man. I do tell you, there's a lot of pride with this meet. Team finish, individual finishes. It's a lot of pride. It's just like an inner town, small town type of rivalry. That's
Want to
a
win?
lot of passion. Yeah.
One of my favorite things about D3 is just how many people will do a strong double or a triple because, the teams are smaller, so to get those
You
points
have
and
to do
fill
it.
the field, you have to.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, I know. Covering D3s last year, we saw, everyone doing 4 events.
I had a pole dancing class I had to give to senior citizens.
That's great. You just said that on the live stream. We won't repeat
I'm going to
that.
go ahead and turn off my natural sound for a little bit. Might be catching just a little bit too much.
Oh, we're fully live. We don't have that delay edit, do we?
Nope.
It wasn't too bad. Did they catch that?
Anyway, taking a look at the race. Lars kind enough to show us both the front and back pack there.
Good job, Lars.
You can see we've got a front pack of about 3.
So Molten Burrows in a Chapman. Kenneth Ella Ugino.
And Veronica Dowd, a prospect.
Veronica Dowd, a prospect, yeah.
Kind of breaking away. But yeah, I remember when I was racing, you used to yell at me all the time about putting my same hand
Just don't
forward.
understand it. You know who did that a lot was Hannah Parker, and she's
Yeah.
the best 800-meter run in the history of the state, but she still did that every time. Matter of fact, I saw her watching
still do that.
racing college. She did the same thing.
I think it makes more sense.
What?
No.
Yes, it
How?
absolutely does.
How does it make sense?
Because
Explain how it makes
All
sense
right,
to start with
ready?
your left leg forward and your left arm forward.
okay, you're on the starting line like this, right?
No, that's not the way you started.
Yes, it is.
You start like
I
that. I'm
start
going to
like
beat you off the
this.
line every single
Oh
time.
my God.
I'm in
Your-
a 2 mile.
Yeah, where's your weight right now? On your back foot.
no,
Where
it's
should
on
it
my,
be?
it's on my
No.
front foot.
No, your back foot should barely be connected to the ground right now.
I
That
have
way
to
you have
push
all
off
of
my
your
back
power,
foot.
and that's your issue. That's why your arm's out in front, because you're using your back foot too much. It's all about your front foot. Your front foot is your power foot.
See, he's getting all sprinter on me.
Well, this is why his arms are reversed, is because he's reversing which foot should be where.
no.
It
Left.
is ridiculous.
No, left. See, because then
This is
when
a
I
ridiculous
go,
conversation. I think we should focus on the athletes.
I swing my
I
arms
agree.
like this, and then it makes sense.
And coming up on 1,200 meters, as we ignore Davia.
Hey, you look at the start line of any pro
Ada
meet,
Chapman.
they all do the same thing.
Maybe
He's still
we'll do
leading
some
the
social
pack.
media on that later.
Prospect Mountain, Veronica Dowd, part of that pack, as well as Ellie Ugino. They're through 1,200 and 3:16. And no, I'm sorry, they're through 800 and 3:16.
Big
That
pack
puts them on a pace for about 13 minutes.
coming through the line now.
You know, again, it's just starting to get a little warmer out. We still have some overcast skies. The sun's just about to show itself. And we have the 3200s, which is what we were all concerned about.
A couple minutes past noon as well, so we're doing pretty good.
Lunchtime.
Oh, yeah.
Time for my next break. It's 69 degrees here in Guilford. 69, 70. Sorry, 65 right now. They're going to have a high of 85 here today, so not as bad as the southern part of the state. I'm sure
Yeah.
Londonderry's flying. What's Londonderry on, Davia?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hopefully they get the 3200s done.
Yeah.
Latest result from them would be the 400 meters. So they're
Oof.
in the boys 400 meters right now.
I thought that that was a smaller meet than this meet.
What? Wait. Greg, what did you just say?
I'm looking at latest result, boys 400 meters. What are you seeing?
200s.
200s? Oh, they had those too. Oh, I know what it is. I'm looking at latest results, and the way they did it is they must have reread some of the 400s and republished them. So you are correct.
Sure, that's what they did.
That is what they did.
Okay.
And through 1200, they're at 452, 453. They're still on. They're clicking off 13-minute pace, clicking them off.
Yeah, Londonderry is running the girls 3200.
All right,
Right on.
we are neck
They're
and
matched
neck,
up.
neck and neck with Londonderry. Who's going to get done first, Wilderness League or Londonderry Invitational? That's a great invitational, also. Fairly young. It's in honor of some really great names like Rich Nagy, Larry Martin, Al Halpern, some of the leaders of our sport over the past 40 years.
They only have 3 girls in their 3200.
A lot of people resting for divisions next week. So Chapman and Dowd are starting to put a little bit of a very tiny gap on Kenneth's Della Vella. Or yeah, I don't think Amy Burton ran this. That's what I don't think. Or that
Feel
might
like
be Amy Burton.
We saw a little bit of the rest going on last night in the 32 as well.
Yeah, most assuredly.
So what, as a coach, you're not going to do back-to-back weeks or
Well,
3 weeks
especially
in
if you
a
have
row?
somebody that has a shot at going to meet a champions, then you'd be looking at a 30. If you did 3200 this weekend, it'd be this weekend, next weekend, the following weekend, and then if you also have a kid that's going to go to New England's, that's a 3200 4 weeks in a row.
And if you're talking about like doubling, tripling, quadrupling.
It's
too.
a lot, yeah. So they are right on sub 13 pace as they come through the 2 mile. I mean the mile mark on the way to the 3,200. They came through in 6:28. That's 12:56 pace. Throw a kick on there. They could be down to 12:40s. Let's see what happens here in the second half of the race.
Those 3 leading.
There's a little separation between first and second and third. Next pack is coming through at about 14:20 pace.
I was about to switch cameras. Lars did a great job.
He's on it, baby. Just now starting to see the sun come down. Overcast skies are just about done with the day.
Yeah, I'm starting to see some blue.
Yep. Boys 3200 is definitely going to have slightly different conditions than the girls.
Finished in the top 3 positions. You have medals over at the Guilford Track Shed.
Some excitement behind us at
pole
pole
vault.
vault.
Girls pole vault.
So please swing by and pick up your medals.
And again, coming through 8:06, 8:07. Still 13-minute pace. A little bit of a gap on Dowd. Let's see if she can keep it tight. It'd be in her best interest to keep it tight just for a couple more laps at least. Pulls her to a great time. But we got Chapman, and who we believe is Molly Delavella. Could be wrong, though. There's 3 Kennett athletes in this.
Once again, this is NewHampshireTrackandField.com, powered by Runner's Alley. Meet Hub today is brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital over in Epsom, New Hampshire. A few locations all within a mile of each other. Check them out by the Epsom Circle. We are midway through.
My wife was there yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And her purchasing car agent, Broden.
Oh.
We're
Is Broden buying a car?
Nope, he's just our agent. He just takes care of it. So I think that is Amy Burton up there because I just heard a cheer from Molly Delavella here on the second pack, and that must be Grace Purley. So if Amy Burton's sitting in that pack, she won the mile. So if she's sitting and can stay close to Chapman, this could get interesting. This could get interesting if Burton can keep it tight.
Well, our top 3 is turning into a 2 and a 1 a little bit. Third falling back just a bit.
2 laps to go as the leaders come up. They're still kind of tight.
Results in the ladies, 200 meters in 6th place. We have Alyssa McCarthy from Interlake.
Yep, Chapman, Amy Burton. 2 laps to go. 9:47. If they drop down to 3 minutes, that could be a 12:47. Veronica Dowd still in somewhat contact.
Setting a new meet record.
Ooh, meet record.
Time of 26.03 from Kennett, 8 a week.
That's getting close to getting the 25s as a girl in New Hampshire. That's super legit.
So what did we just hear? New meet record in
26.03.
26.03 for girls.
Ada Wheat from Kennett. And right now we're seeing Chapman open up a little bit of a gap here on Burton. About 8 meters. 600 meters to go. It looks like Burton's making it up, though. Remember, Burton came back from way back. She just closed it right back up. Man, that was a good veteran move. So Burton is sitting, and she came from way back to take the mile. I would not want to be around her right now going into the last lap of the 3,200. So they're coming up on 1 to go. And they're still tight. We're at 11:10 right now with coming up on 1 to go. Give you an idea. We're thinking that they're going to go well under 13. If there's a kick, it could be even more. Yep. So 11:20, 11:21, 22, 23. They run 90 seconds. That's a 12:53. I think this might turn into a bit of a kick, so it could be even faster. Let's see what they got. Burton looks like she's just sitting on Chapman, who's done the work for the entirety of the race. Dowd coming through with 11:40. She could, if she throws a kick on there, you never know. She could get under 13 also. That's kind of a magic number. So let's see what happens here. Burton is still just sitting on Chapman on the back stretch. It's looking like a true track meet here. Let's see if Burton passes her before the turn or after the turn.
Going for a slingshot effect on this one.
Nope, she's taking off now. She's doing the right thing, taking off before the turn, and Chapman won't have a response. Unfortunately, she did a great job. She towed that race the whole time. So hats off to Ada Chapman from Molten Borough for leading that race the whole time. Burton, though, employing the same tactic as the 1600 where she won. She's going to be a double winner today, and she's going to be well in her 13 minutes when it's all said and done. Chapman has a little bit of a response here, but it's going to be Burton. 12:45, 12:46, 12:47, 12:48. Your winner with Chapman coming through in 12:50. Very sensible, very smart racing. Went through the first mile, nice dead on 6:30 pace, 6:28, 12:56 pace, and they both negative split that. Really nice job. Again, hats off to Chapman for leading for 3,000 meters. Burton took it right before the turn, right at the 3,000 meter mark. Took the lead. Great show of sportsmanship, high-fiving each other. I'm sure Burton said thanks for the ride, but it was a great race. Nice job. And here's Veronica Dowd finishing in third, and 13:24, 13:25.
Tell you, wind's starting to pick up a little bit, and it's bringing some heat with it. All right, next on the track, we have our boys 3,200 meter, and naturally with a distance event, my two distance-oriented commentators are nowhere to be found. Looks like we might be missing a couple of guys. In this race, Connor Downs, Newfound, William Riley, Belmont, Gunnar Courier, Muscoma Valley, Benjamin Lapoum, Newfound, Evan Foster, Newfound, Mitchell Townsend, Guilford, Elijah Chrisman, Woodsville, Mason Glue, Plymouth Regional.
Okay, gentlemen, on your mark.
Through the first 100 or so, boys staying pretty packed up. Start to see a little bit of separation here on this straight. Starting to get single file with it.
I would think on this day they're going to take it a little bit easier. I see a lot of kids that have already doubled back or doubling back. You already introduced, and that's Connor Dowds. That's taking the lead.
I did introduce them.
And then Riley from Belmont's right on his shoulder.
Unlike Davio, he didn't introduce them.
Davio didn't do much.
I think Davio's cleaning up.
Ben LaPlume from Newfound, Evan Foster from Newfound. They're also in the front four. Tell you, Newfound, let's watch Newfound next few years. They got a little something going on there.
I feel like I've seen him more and more this year.
Yeah, they definitely got something going on there. So. They're nice and chilling over it. It's smart. It's the day's getting warmer. You can't go out and totally kill it.
Yeah, coming up on a quarter mile.
85-second pace. 85-second pace. We'll put him at about. It's going to get faster. I'll just put it to you that way. It's pretty clear that these guys are not looking to race a whole 3,200. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. It's smart. It's a warmer day. It was cool this morning. All of a sudden got warm. You know, if you have confidence in your kick, why would you lead?
Not to mention, I mean, you know, this meet, typically this point in the season, you're looking at improving your seed time. But if you feel pretty good about the seed time and maybe a couple of guys who would normally beat you are, you know, in the race, you're fine if it's a slow pace.
And we got the man, the legend himself, Mike Smith, joining us.
I don't know about legend, but
he's been.
We were talking about you earlier.
He's been the announcer today. He's got two daughters that have been competing today. Mike, how's things going?
I mean, if you're asking how did our day go, we've had a little bit of a rough day, but that's okay. Heading into
isn't that what
state,
you want?
In some ways, you want to certainly want to know when you leave here today. You want to know.
6 laps to go. Seems like they're starting to pick it up a little bit. They're on an 11:20 pace through one lap. But now 6 laps to go, they're starting to pick it up. The Newfound trio with Riley and Belmont.
Yeah, that's actually Coach LaPlume's son, Ben LaPlume, at the lead.
Okay.
Their top guy, I think he's
Downs.
Run 10:30 or something like that today already.
You can tell it's getting warmer on the track. We figured they don't want to race a whole 3,200. It's pretty smart. Oh, there it goes Downs.
Yeah, Downs just moved, and Will's going around too.
Yep, Downs just decided that he's going to run. 2,600 meters.
And he's fresh. Will's already run the mile today, so.
Downs, I think Downs ran the 4x8 if I recognized him in that. So, but still, yeah. Mike, how do you usually treat these? I mean, do you kind of have the kids do a dress rehearsal for divisions or a partial dress rehearsal?
So, being distance dominant, and we end up churning out some 2-milers and stuff like that. We won't run them in the 2-mile here. Because if they're going to move on after it, that would be, Saturday Wilderness, Saturday States, Saturday Meet a Champion. So any of our 2-milers will run just a mile and usually the 4x8 and stuff like that. Yeah. But for the other guys, lots of times we'll put them in the events, see how it goes and stuff like that. And while we, ended up winning the 4x8, it wasn't a beautiful 4x8 by any means. We are missing one of the legs for that. So, it's kind of going as we expected.
Yep, understandable. I mean, after Connor Downs, just to bring it back to the race real quick, he put that move on. The pack came right back to him on the second half of that third lap. And they'll be coming through in the mile here momentarily, and we'll tell you kind of what pace they're on for this. But like we said before, we thought that this was going to be more of a sit-and-kick type of situation. So let's just see how this works out. Looks like one of the Newfound boys is falling off a little bit.
Yeah, that's Ben LaPlume.
We were saying before, Newfound seems to have something going on there. Like they're building something pretty cool.
Yeah, I think, and if you were talking to Mike, he, again, they were looking to challenge us for the title in cross country, and through the beginning of the season, the entire experience, we've become, really good coaching buddies and stuff like that. And he's I don't want to say he was hanging his hopes on last season, but he was senior heavy.
Yeah.
And Sometimes though you get the seniors start to build the momentum, and it carries itself along.
Carrying them along right now, 5:27, 10:54 pace. Just kind of cruising. Looks like Downs and Riley are talking. Maybe they're working together.
I think they are. And hey, I mean, I think Connor wanted to see if just test the field, see if anybody go with him, and if not, then he can just kind of run the same pace but stay out in front of him.
He looks kind of he looks like he's kind of the master of his. But then you have Foster now. Looks like he's taking the lead.
Yep.
And they could all be sharing this at this point.
They could be. Well, I got to go. I think I have some
Mike Smith,
some
thanks
awards
for showing up.
to announce. All right.
Thanks for finally doing something today.
Yeah, no kidding. Catch
the
you guys
voice
later.
you've been hearing in the background has been Mike Smith. Thanks, Mike Smith. Short strides.
Very odd.
You heard a reference to it. We're allowing Mike, and against our better judgment, allowing Mike to do a blog that's focused on sort of his adventures, but that are related to track and field and cross country in New Hampshire. And it's called Short Strides and Odd Thoughts, and he just said very odd thoughts. So it's one of those things. So with 3 to go, we're coming up on 3 to go, and now we have a triumvirate. Downs looks like he's hurting a little bit with 3 to go. You got Foster and you got Riley. And LaPlume looks like he's hurting a little bit here with 3 to go. He's tough, strong.
Yeah, I think the 1600 was the distance event to be in today in terms of weather.
It's kind of the way it's been around the state. That all accounts from Londonderry, not a lot of participation in the 3200 down there. The mile was where it was today. Here's the similar type of situation. And it's getting warmer. I mean, it's just in the past 20 minutes even.
Yeah, it's heating up pretty quick.
Yep. And we got Guilford sitting here now. It was 60 degrees. It's gone up to 65 with sun. So.
Yeah, the air temperature at 65 doesn't sound too bad. It's like, 3,200 at 65 degrees is fine. But it's really the sun because, obviously, like, if it's going to get up to, 90-something today, then that sun's providing a lot of heat.
I agree.
And so even though the air temperature is 65, if you're out on the track, you're getting a lot of that sun. It's heating you up pretty quick.
So with 2 to go, they're at 8:10. It's Riley and Downs. Foster's fallen off slightly. It's been kind of an attrition of laps. What did I say they were, 8:10? Mm-hmm. So if they pop a 2:30, that's 10:40. If they keep it at the pace, they'll probably be in the 10:50s. Let's see if they battle here a little bit and give us some entertainment.
17 feet, 8 inches, Hayden Munt, Berlin.
Right now, Riley's leading Downs. Foster has fallen back to 15, 20 meters back. I really like the way Newfound approached that, though, and Riley seemed to jump in like a Newfound athlete, just trying to share the load. I think they're racing now. I think Riley's trying to put a little pressure on Downs, and Downs is just trying to sit and bide his time.
Yeah, I mean, this race is long enough. You can do that where, the first mile and a half, you can kind of work with people.
Right.
Set a certain pace and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do.
Yep.
And then, obviously, it's still a race. So then 800 to go. It's like, all right, now.
Of course. Yeah.
We kind of see what each other's got.
Results of men's javelin in 6th place.
So with 1 to go, we're at 9:30. They pop a 7. They have to run a 60, 66, 67, 68 to get into the 10:30s. Let's see what happens here. Riley's opened up about a 2-step lead. Foster coming through at 9:44. He pops a 70. That'll be a 10:54, doing the math. Riley now has about a 5-meter lead with 300 to go. Let's see if Downs has a response.
Downs still looks pretty good, though.
Yep, the popular response has been trying to pass for the 200. Downs seems to be trying to make inroads on that lead.
Yeah, he's closing slightly.
Riley looks good, though. Both of them look like this is not their first race.
They both look pretty smooth.
Definitely smooth runners. And coming on into the turn, Connor's going to set him up for the pass and the Mr. Hall's favorite slingshot move.
Oh, you didn't let him say it.
Little early for a slingshot.
Right there. Say it now because it's happening. You're missing it.
I'm seeing it. I'm watching it. He went for the slingshot.
They're battling, guys. They're battling all the way down the straightaway. We got Riley. We got Downs. We got Downs. We got Riley. And it's going to be Downs. 10:41. Riley, 10:41, 10:42. Great race by those two.
Man.
He had enough time to stop his watch there.
Hey, all I'm saying is
I was
we asked for
tight.
entertainment. They gave us entertainment. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was
I think we're
great.
going to get both those guys to interview this one. That was great. Tremendous. Here, Coach yelling, that's how you compete. He's absolutely right. That was awesome. And Foster, third place, 11:08, 11:09. He stayed pretty steady.
Pretty tough. You run a whole 2 mile and then comes right down to the line.
That's one of the reasons I don't run a 2 mile.
Yeah, one of the reasons.
I'll tell you the main reason I never ran a 2 mile in high school. I wanted to for my senior meet. Every senior gets to pick what events they're doing. I said I wanted
the 2 mile.
I picked the 2 mile. Well, with decathlon, I'd done a 15. So, really, the only track event I hadn't done was the 2 mile.
Right.
I wanted to do 2 mile. My coach, Tim Cox, said no.
Hey, come on down to the Twilight meet. There's a 3K tonight. Let's do it.
You know, I feel like the time I would run now would be a little bit different than what I would run in high school.
What do you think you could run in a 2 mile in high school?
In high school? I have no idea. Take my 15 and double it.
What was your 15?
I have no idea.
What?
Just a 15.
All right.
Tell us who's in this. If we get a chance, maybe I'll look.
Yeah, this is the women's 4x4. There are 2 heats of this.
Girls 4x4.
Girls 4x4. We have Winnisquam, Laconia, Belmont, and Messinic in this first heat.
452.
450. Okay. It's respectable. So I'll give you like a 12-minute 2 mile. I'd say. Hall says no.
I think I could do better than 12.
What?
Oh, it's easy for me to speculate now. It already
Yeah.
happened. All right, we've got our girls. 4x4 heat 1 underway. 1 lap around for each leg of the race.
Staying in lanes for the first leg.
I remember that 15. I sat on a distance runner, and then I outkicked him. It was at decathlon, so most of the people weren't distance.
Rude.
Well, shouldn't have let me hang on. I don't know. Yeah, beat him by a second and a half. I definitely just sat and kicked.
Yeah, I think you probably had a little bit more speed there in that matchup.
All right, coming to the handoff first. Looks like Belmont. This is a 3-turn stagger.
So still in lanes until the next corner.
I say everything looks smooth enough there. We'll see how we're looking after the break once Lars finds them past the tent. There we go. Lead of about 5-7 meters and shortening as there seems to be a pass here. And we do have a pass. Believe we're looking at Laconia over Belmont right now.
A lot of black uniforms today. Yeah, like you said, Laconia and Belmont handing off relatively close to each other.
Got Winnisquam.
And Messinic is the last to hand off.
At the lead, about 10 meters separates.
Looks like Winnisquam's closing. Yeah, she's definitely cutting down that gap.
All right, coming on to the final stretch for these two in this leg. And with our final leg, we're going to stay with our leaders.
Laconia finished that leg pretty well.
Check back in for the handoffs, get those splits. Splits can be pretty important leading into the state meet, figuring out who's going where, who's on what team.
Yeah, there's still a lot of that to consider this week for coaches deciding who's going to be on different relay teams.
D3's got a quick turnaround with some of their decisions, seeding tomorrow. Doesn't mean you can't swap around some relay people.
Yeah, I think, relays probably go after, you put everyone in their individual events and then look and go, okay, who can I put in these relays to maximize the end result? All right, Laconia wins it. A pretty solid win for them. Belmont was closing on that third leg.
Yeah, Laconia. Good last leg.
Yeah, because they won that pretty convincingly for how close it was at points. So Winnisquam third.
And we've got Messinic finishing up now. She's got a smile on her face. It's always good to see. I don't know if I ever really smiled after a 400. Maybe after I had recovered, but definitely not at the end of it.
Yeah. All right, Heat 2, we have Newfound Regional, Kennett, Kingswood, Kearsarge, Prospect Mountain, and Guilford.
Heat 2 of 2. We've got a couple girls in blocks.
That's very quiet here all of a sudden.
Yeah, I felt weird saying something.
Yeah,
We're close enough to the action where I
It was
didn't want
like
to.
it was completely silent just then.
It's great for the athletes to be able to hear all the commands perfectly.
Yeah, I guess you know, all the field events are kind of cleaned up, and
Yep.
this is it. So everyone kind of quiets down for the gun.
We're getting there.
In second place, Ada Chapman of Goldsboro. And the winner of the girls 3200 with a time of 12:48.37 from Kennett, Amy Burton.
Here we got a group of girls right in front. It's like Kingswood, Prospect Mountain are the two front runners, minus the last turn stagger. So Kingswood with the lead counting the stagger. They get the baton first. All right, so coming off this turn, they will cut into lane 1. So the stagger has been made up at this point. We have, I believe, Newfound in second place. But Kingswood with a decent lead. All right, so Kingswood hands off first, followed by Newfound, and then Kearsarge.
Kingswood crossing right around 210.
And Kingswood third is Raposa, who we saw in the 400. So she should have a pretty good split here. Give them a good third leg.
Kingswood going by their tent well out in front.
I was going to say they get a little burst of cheers going by their tent, but there's no one over there.
They're all around the track cheering instead.
Yeah. And we got a nice crowd right at the finish straight here.
Usually like seeing a team tent empty. Hopefully it means the athletes are around the track cheering, not necessarily gone for the day, but
Hands off at 3:13. Yeah, obviously this being the last event of the day, you probably don't want to see a bunch of athletes just lounging around in your tent.
right. You would think that's not going to happen all too much. I tell you though that the temperature difference under a tent and out in the sun is pretty significant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely quite a contrast when you walk out from under this tent.
You know, earlier this week they were predicting temperature right now would be like 95, 96, and we're a bit cooler than that. I think we lucked out. Definitely moving the meet up a little bit helped, but
yeah, and just the cloud cover this morning really held it off.
Oh yeah, could have been a lot worse.
Because if the sun was out at 9, like it would have been 90 by like
good finish here for Kingswood.
What a
and
4:14.
Speaking of good finishes, not a lot of separation between those three teams.
A pretty good run for Kingswood. That's, what, 63s they average? Pretty fast.
What'd you approximate their time at?
About a 4:14.
4:14. That would be a bit of improvement. Right now, Battle Notes has them at 4:20.
Yeah,
7,
they're
8,
definitely
so-
well under that.
Yeah. Can estimate and still be sure of that fact.
All right, we got the
Where is
boys
Newfound?
going out on the track.
Is Mike Smith yelling?
There's Newfound.
There they are, right there.
So in this heat, we have Belmont, Messinic, Winnisquam, Plymouth, Berlin, and Newfound. Newfound in lane 6.
Lars, our cameraman, Lars, is going to turn around and look at the lead legs.
He's hydrating up there.
It's getting a little warm up there, I think.
Yeah. He's got a black sweatshirt on.
He's,
too.
I know. Well, we're almost done.
Yeah.
How many heats?
2 heats. I think I have some distance runners in this event.
Nice reminder from the starter that in the set you are not allowed to move.
Yeah, the set command always screws up the distance runners.
Yeah.
The sprinters obviously have the hang of it. Do it all the time. Distance runners are used to set, gun. 2 commands.
On your mark, fire. Yeah.
But in the 4x4, you have 3 commands, and sometimes you're not ready for it. You got that first command, and as soon as you hear a second noise, you go. Seen that a couple times this year already.
That's a good thing to point out for athletes and for coaches to remind the athletes of that. Now, typically, the starter goes through, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to say. So usually, if you're paying attention, not too much of an
That's
issue,
the
but
key there.
paying attention, sometimes you're in your own head, mental zone, ready to go with it. So
looks like Plymouth and Messinic both getting the stick around the same time. Yeah, but I mean, also it's right before your race.
Oh, sure.
You're thinking about your race. You're nervous, whatever. And if it's the 4x4, it's the last event of the day. You're probably exhausted, and especially if it's divisionals or something, you're thinking about scoring and what have you.
Sure.
So
see, I tell you that's probably the benefit of a 100 and 200 is there's no reason to get nervous. It's all out.
Yeah.
You go with what you practice your blocks, and you hear a gun, you're gone. Yeah. Whereas, anything higher than that, you're starting to think a little bit more about strategy. And
thinking like the 800, like how fast do I go out in the first lap? What's
everyone
else going to do?
Are they taking it out? Am I going to be leading this? So typically, though, you end up with enough experience, you know what's going on.
Yeah. Definitely, even if some of these athletes are a little more inexperienced, at this point in the season, you've got a few meets under your belt. You kind of know what's going on. So we got a big lead out in front. It's Winnisquam, I believe. Had the 2 Goodwins leading off for Winnisquam. Gave them a pretty good gap. Depending on how they finish this, could break into the top 6 of the second heat.
There's our leader. We were missing him for a little bit there, but we got him now.
Wow, so they have a full 100 meters.
Yeah. Big enough gap to fool Lars for a little bit, but not for long.
It's a little tricky in the relays.
Lars likes capturing the handoffs, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the exciting part.
Here we go, final 100.
A pretty good time here.
Third place, Kearsarge. Second place, Newfound. And in first place, with a time of
350
15,
for Winnisquam, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. That might get them into the top 6. So Plymouth second, Newfound third. And then Belmont and Messinic. Second heat is now being called onto the track. In the second heat, we have Kennett, Interlakes, Prospect Mountain, Guilford, Kingswood, and Portsmouth Christian.
You said 2 heats, 3 heats?
2 heats.
Two
This is the
heats.
final heat.
Oh, final heat, final gun of the day. All right,
Hopefully.
let's get this going. Yeah, we did great, man. It's not even 1 o'clock. Still not overwhelmingly hot. Did a great job here at Guilford.
Yeah, under 4 hours for the whole meet.
Wilderness Championship committee kind of working to get this meet done. Number of different coaches from different schools doing different roles today. They've been doing it this way for a while, so even though we've had a hiatus from the Wilderness, they still know what they got going on.
Yeah, they got it down. I mean, if you get a big meet like this done in, it was under 4 hours, including field events, like,
And I mean,
that's pretty good.
To me, it's, the coordination from program to program, because, you've got different head coaches. We're working with different head coaches that, they don't see every single day. But that's kind of one of the cool things about this area is, they're all so close from competing against each other so much. And a lot of these coaches have been around for a fairly long time that they know each other. They're friends with each other. Some of them go running together, those who still run. It's a good community up here.
And obviously there's a lot of schools in, pretty close area here.
Yeah, I saw one of those kids have a little puzzled look on his face when they said set.
Yep. Always happens. I'm trying to think. I probably would have screwed that up, but I don't think I was ever a leadoff.
I always led off, so it wasn't an issue for our 4-bys.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate enough to have a very fast teammate take the anchor, so I didn't have to. I don't know if I ever ran a 400 where I wasn't pacing myself against the field. All right, our first exchange. Bit of excitement on the track right now. I think we're going to go ahead and say those were clean enough.
Don't have to be perfect in a
4x4 is not as important.
Yeah.
Helps, but 1 year for New England's, we had nothing to lose. We tried a full blind. Didn't go well.
No?
No.
Well, it also probably wasn't all your sprinters.
No, it wasn't. It was, I'm pretty sure I might have been the only sprinter on it.
Right. So, that doesn't help.
But, you figure why not? We weren't looking to get top 6, so. Oh, here we go. Good looking run right here from Prospect. And Prospect gets it in first, followed by Guilford, Kingswood, Kennett.
Looks like we got Kennett trying to come up on Guilford.
Prospect Mountain still in the lead. This is their third leg. Prospect, Guilford, Kennett, Guilford pushing up. Here we go.
Yeah, this is going to get interesting.
And there we go. Oh, yeah.
All right, Guilford with a much cleaner handoff. Gave him a couple meters.
Guilford takes the lead and then some, up to 5, close to 10 meters now as that gap keeps increasing up front. Probably 15 now between first and second. Guilford in first.
Yeah, you got Gandini anchoring for Guilford. So even though he's run 2 other events today, still looking pretty speedy.
20 meters now on second.
Yeah, he's taking off. I'm surprised. He was in the mile and 8 today.
Last little workout, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Here we go. That gap might be shrinking a little bit, but not enough time left. Patrick Gandini takes it for Guilford. Right around that 3:41 mark. Prospect Mountain, Kingswood. What was the time from our first heat?
3:49, I believe.
Kennett finishing right around 3:49.
It was, yeah, 3:49, 3:50, so that definitely puts them in
Portsmouth and Interlakes.
at least 5th.
Well, if I recall correctly, I believe that's all the teams we have out there. So, once again, this is New Hampshire, trackandfield.com, powered by Runners Alley. Meet Hub this week brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital. Thank you for tuning in. Check out our site. We're going to have some pictures, interviews, some other field event videos up there as well. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week when we start talking about state championships.
Exciting.
Let's go with that.